Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. And good morning. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everyone. Happy Monday. Not so much a victory Monday today. Well, it is for the Wolverines. Not so much for the Spartans. And definitely not for the Detroit Lions, which is where we're going to kick things off. Let's preview the show a little bit first. We're going to have Stephen Goff from the Lansing Sports Network join us a little bit later on. Caused a little bit of controversy on good old Twitter, X, the everything app. Has everything. So Stephen Goff took notice of that and wanted to join the show to recap a few things regarding Aiden Childs because he's now sitting on the bench. And I blame Michigan State for that, okay? And I don't think that's necessarily on Aiden Childs. Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but I want to come to his defense a little bit. So we're going to talk to Stephen Goff a little bit later on in the show. We'll do our stocks, of course, at the end of the 9 o'clock hour, which, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. I definitely want to get to the World Series at some point because regarding finals and Super Bowls in my life, you got the 28-3 comeback Tom Brady. You've got the 2016 NBA Finals 3-1 comeback LeBron Curry. And then you have the World Series from 2025 that happened over the weekend. I want to talk about Game 7. I want to talk about Yamamoto because I think there's a chance he might have snatched Tarek Skubal's chain for the championship of best pitcher in the world. So we'll get to all that at some point. I do want to start things off with the Detroit Lions, though, because, man, I'll just fully admit, I was so wrong about that game. There has been 2 games I've been completely wrong about this year, and it was week 1 against Green Bay, and it was this weekend against the Vikings. I didn't really think there was any sort of evidence to suggest that the Vikings offensive line was going to stay healthy, that the Vikings defense was going to be different. Well, it looked like a prime Brian Flores defense yesterday against the Lions. Who would have thought that once they got everyone healthy, like Blake Cashman and Van Ginkel, this looked like a completely different defense again? I think there was a little mention on Friday's show of, hey, the way that the Lions lose this game is Brian Flores' defense looks good, and they completely terrorize the interior of the Lions' offensive line, Graham Glasgow, Christian Mahogany, and Tate Ratledge. And that is exactly what happened. Those three guys in the middle got manhandled by this Brian Flores front seven, which obviously, like I mentioned, returned a couple guys to the starting lineup, and that completely dictated the entire game. Jared Goff goes down 5 times, 5 different sacks, but it wasn't just the sacks. Like, even when he wasn't hitting the ground, he was either under pressure or his clock was just a little bit rushed, and he was in a hurry to get the ball out because he was so used to being under pressure because they were able to get to him right from the very jump. Not to mention, they can't run the football. This has been a theme now for about a month that the Detroit Lions have really struggled to run the football, not just against, great rushing defenses, because that's not really what Minnesota's been this season. They haven't been able to really run the football on anybody. So this season, they're averaging 125 yards per game on the ground. That is the worst since Dan Campbell's first season with the Detroit Lions in 2021. Their 4.4 yards per attempt is the worst since Dan Campbell's start to his coaching career in Detroit back in 2021, when they went 3-13-1. That is what we are comparing this year's rushing attack to. It has been disappointing. It's been very reliant on the Jahmyr Gibbs explosive plays. We didn't get any of those yesterday. The Lions were held to just 65 yards on the ground. They can't pick up any third downs right now. The penalties became a monster issue yesterday. And again, they can't keep Jared Goff healthy, or upright at least. Remember those 3 weeks where Jared Goff did not take a singular sack? That was awesome. We were like, cool, offensive line issues are in the past. That's not the case at all. Those 3 games almost seem like more of an anomaly at this point than what the Lions offensive line it really is. So, and I know Mahogany went out in that game too. So against Green Bay, 4 sacks. Against Cincinnati, terrible pass rush, gave up 4 sacks. Only 1 versus Kansas City. They gave up 4 to Tampa, and then they gave up 5 yesterday to Minnesota. There is officially a concern with what's going on in the interior of this offensive line. And we knew this going into the year, like, hey, this is kind of a question mark. If the Lions season kind of goes sideways, it's going to be because of this group of players, Glasgow, Mahogany, Ratledge. They have been fine in certain situations, but, man, yesterday was not one of those. The Brian Flores defense comes in, not only manhandles them in their one-on-ones, but the blitzing, the stunts, the picks, it just confused the hell out of them to the point where we're all looking around like, hey, this has to be a little bit on Johnny Morton. This has to be a little bit on Dan Campbell for not getting the guys ready to go after a bye when you have 2 weeks to prepare for this game. This was a downright ugly game that really it made the concerns from preseason re-arise with the interior of this offensive line. And the problem with that is I just don't know how that's getting significantly better other than small internal development and internal growth over the next 10 weeks. But you just lost maybe one of your guards for the rest of the season in Christian Mahogany. Don't mean to speculate, but when you get carted off the field, usually not great. Glasgow's been deteriorating, and we saw that happen last season from the beginning to the end. Much different player. And look, I don't need to bore everyone with offensive line talk, but come on, that was by far the biggest reason that they lost this game, in addition to the coaching staff just not really getting the guys ready to go for this one. That was a concerning loss, to say the least. And I'm not going to sit here, pound my fist, and say, oh my God, it's time to panic for the Lions. This team's going to be fine. They're going to bounce back. They don't lose 2 games in a row under Dan Campbell. J-Mo said it himself after the game. This is what we do best. We bounce back. And I couldn't agree more, but after a loss like that, when you're 8.5-point favorites at home, it is a little bit deflating here on what should be a victory Monday. So, Kyle, what'd you think?
Yeah, especially after it comes against your divisional opponent in the Minnesota Vikings in a division that is just completely up for grabs by essentially everyone in the division now at this point.
Right, especially with Green Bay losing yesterday. It was a chance to go steal something and reestablish first place in the NFC North.
Absolutely. And obviously with that opportunity in front of them, they were unable to do so. And like you said, this was different than the Kansas City loss, where Kansas City was just like, yeah, this was a tight game, a good KC defense, but the Lions played well in some spots, but were unable to get it done. This game, it was like, man, the Lions couldn't have played worse.
Nope.
They could not have played worse, and maybe that's where you find a little bit of a silver lining because they were still in it, essentially down to J.J. McCarthy picking up that third down play on the pass to Jalen Naylor. Like, so I guess maybe that's where you could take some positivity out of this. Like, I don't know about you, Ben, but the Lions these last several seasons have just found these miraculous ways to win games. They're never out of it, essentially. So even despite how bad they played yesterday, after Jamison Williams scores the touchdown, they still have all 3 timeouts. Even up to that third and whatever it was on the play to Naylor, I'm thinking the Lions still have a really good chance to win this game. Like, I was not even out of it yet, even though they played so bad. That's just how good they've been in these weird games these last several seasons under Dan Campbell. But, yeah, this is one of the more concerning losses in a while. It's definitely not there with the Green Bay one because that game in the moment just really felt, being the first game of the year, Green Bay getting all the hype in the offseason, that one was very concerning. But this one is right there with it. I mean, with how bad the offensive line played yesterday and how shaky it's been the last several weeks, we know when Jared Goff excels. He's been so good against the blitz as a Lion.
Mm-hmm.
And who blitzes more than anybody? Brian Flores. We saw it on full display yesterday, and it was obviously not Jared Goff's best because he did not have time. So,
well, the reason they were able to have so much success against Brian Flores the last couple of years, Jared Goff and the Lions in general, is because, yeah, you're right. Jared Goff was able to dissect the blitz because he had time.
Right, quick decision-making.
To do it. With Frank Ragnow back at center. Frank Ragnow's gone, and he's not coming back. And that has been a detriment to this Lions team so far this season. Like I said, can't run the ball. And usually where Jared Goff has picked apart this Brian Flores defense, they're getting through the interior of the offensive line so fast that Jared Goff has no time to do anything. And even when they didn't blitz, he felt a little bit rushed, and he certainly didn't play his best game, and I'm sure he would tell you that too. It was a loss that you kind of just look at and you go, maybe I need to reevaluate this team. And again, I'm not saying like, wow, like they're in danger of missing the playoffs. This is still a team that I think is going to be competing to win the division and potentially even the conference at the end of the season. But this is clearly a flawed team. Pretty shocking loss coming out of the bye, to say the least. Luckily, the Packers just continue to be the most frustrating, disappointing team in the league who ends up losing to Carolina at home yesterday. So at least the Lions fans aren't feeling that bad. They still remain in second place in the NFC North. But this Vikings team, I think a lot of the things I thought about them preseason actually might be more true than I thought going into this week, where you have this weird J.J. McCarthy situation. It doesn't feel like they're being honest with how healthy he is. Felt like he could have played a couple weeks ago, and it's like, okay, do they trust this guy? That was the big narrative going into this one. Yeah, they trust him. Was he perfect? Did he light up the Lions and fill up the stat sheet and go for 200-plus yards? No, the box score says he wasn't actually that great, 143 yards. But I thought the opening drive and that final drive, he was like really impressive. He had the throw to Addison that ended up being dropped for a touchdown, and then a couple plays later throws it to Justin Jefferson, back shoulder, perfect throw for the touchdown. And then to close out the game, he hits Josh Naylor for the first down. Not Josh Naylor. That's
Jalen Naylor.
Jalen
yes.
Naylor. I was about to say that's not right.
Two guys that are still just in our nightmares right now.
Yeah, ends up hitting Jaden Naylor for the first down, and like those 3 throws alone, I was like, wow, that was impressive stuff from J.J. McCarthy, something I didn't necessarily expect going into that game. So some big-time concerns for the Lions. There's a lot to divvy up in terms of whose responsibility is this lost. I want to get into some of that stuff when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, as always, brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies here in the 9 o'clock hour. As always, the show here is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Got a lot to get to today. Again, we'll get to Michigan and Michigan State as well, but I do want to keep discussing this Lions team because I want to know what you thought about this game. I am sitting here thinking this interior of the offensive line that might be without another starter the rest of the season is by far the thing that could hold this team back. And there are some great defenses in the NFC, the Rams, the Eagles, the Vikings, even the Packers, with some really decent front sevens. Those are going to be the teams that I'm now concerned about because Brian Flores might have just laid out a blueprint. Hey, if you just send pressure from your linebackers up the middle on these guys, you're going to be able to get to Jared Goff. And if that's going to be the case and the Lions can't run the ball, that takes away the identity of the team, which is concerning to say the least. 989-837-6125. Like I said, 9 o'clock hours brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech. And that's where Iron Stack Technologies comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone of your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or a growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Iron Stack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Iron Stack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the district final round. The 9-1 Dow Chargers keep surging. They host the 5-5 East Lansing Trojans at Midland Community Stadium. Dow's looking for their first district title since 2015. Dow and East Lansing, pregame coverage at 6:50 Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Happy Monday. I hope I can make your Monday a little bit better, because the Lions certainly didn't make any of our Mondays a little bit better. If it's okay, I want to go over a little game, classic radio topic. Let's do blame pie.
Revenge is a dish that is best served cold. It is very cold.
Blame pie.
All right. There's a lot to discuss on whose fault that Detroit Lions loss is on. I assessed blame to 4 different people, 4 different groups. I gave 40% to the coaching staff because that kind of loss is just somewhat unacceptable coming out of a bye to where John Moran says he's been in the he never left. He was trying to get Jamison Williams the ball a lot more, which, by the way, I know he caught that long touchdown, ended up making it a close game. But I thought some of the stuff early on in the game when it's like 3rd and 15 and you're throwing a screen pass to J-Mo that gets blown up at the line of scrimmage, that seemed like you're force-feeding him, and that's not how you fix the issue of J-Mo not getting involved. That's actually creating different issues for your team. That, in addition to them just simply not being able to run the ball, this is the worst version of the rushing attack we have seen since Dan Campbell's first season here, when you had guys like, Jonah Jackson and Halui Vaitai, whatever. Yeah, that guy. Vaitai running around as one of the guards. This was a very bad rushing attack yesterday, 65 yards. That kind of stuff just can't happen. Dan Campbell said they did everything they had to do to lose that game, the coaching staff. It's like, yeah, clearly. I thought the special teams was garbage, which continues to be a theme throughout the entire course of the season. Not calling for Dave Phipps' job, the special teams coordinator, but just falling behind the 8 ball pretty consistently in what feels like every single department for special teams. You get the blocked kick, you give up a 61-yard return, you gave up a 99-yard touchdown. Luckily, the Vikings got called for a holding thing, so it gets called back, but just pretty poor special teams all year continues to be a theme. Jake Bates is only 2 for 5 on 50-plus yard field goals this season. And this is something we didn't mention in the open somehow. The third down offense is brutal. 36% conversion rate. That's 25th in the NFL. So I think John Moore and the coaching staff in general gets a ton of blame for this. I gave it 40%.
Quickly, too, to your third down point, the Lions hadn't converted a 3rd and 10 or more all season long until yesterday. David Montgomery does pick up the 3rd and 12 and then fumbles.
Right.
Unreal, actually, that is even a stat with this Lions offense.
There was a stat that they said on the broadcast at one point, too, that the Lions had gone, 5 straight 3-and-outs, and it was the first time that happened in years. Brian Flores was bringing the heat. I think David Montgomery deserves a little bit of blame here, too. I'll go 2.5%. That was a pretty detrimental fumble, but the Lions weren't able to really move the ball in general, so even if they would have picked up that first down, I'm not exactly sure if that would have led to a long 99-yard drive, which is funny because they came out of the gate swinging with the Laporta drive, right?
Totally.
Goff goes.
They always come out swinging on the first drive.
Right. Goff goes 3 for 3, 66 yards. All 3 targets and completions go to Sam Laporta, and he ends up making a highlight play.
Scored on a 4th down.
Right, to cross the end zone. can't tackle him. He was unbelievable on that first drive. And you were like, all right, this is it. This is the Lions that we know, that we're accustomed to seeing, that averaged 34 points a game over the last year and a half. And then from that point forward, it's like them picking up 2 first downs on the same drive
seemed
near impossible.
Especially when the defense was making plays. Like they have struggled even in the Tampa Bay game to capitalize off of the defense getting stops and forcing turnovers. That was never an issue with this team last year.
I gave 50% of the blame. Half the reason they lost, I just thought the interior of the offensive line was bad.
Half the pie.
Half the pie goes to those 3 guys up front. And you could even throw in, I know that they dealt with some injuries. Ratledge came in and out of the game. Mahogany left the game and never came back, and you had Yodi kind of filling in both of those places. I didn't think any of them were particularly well, and I'm really curious to see towards the end of the show, once these PFF grades come out, how many pressures did they allow in the passing game too? Because we know that the rushing attack was non-existent yesterday, 65 yards on the ground.
It had to have been high teens, 15 plus.
Oh, I'm thinking more.
That's what I'm going to say, but even that's a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised it was near 30.
Really?
Goff was under constant duress.
Yeah, he was.
All
and
those
Sewell obviously was dealing
middle.
with a little bit of an injury as well, which stunk. A lot of injuries in yesterday's game, man. St. Brown was banged up.
Yeah, every play it felt like someone was leaving. Terrion Arnold leaves the game once a game now, it feels like. Which, by the way, he had a nice game.
He did.
If we're trying to find positives,
totally.
Terrion Arnold definitely played his best game as a Lion yesterday.
Awesome interception, but I think his best play of the game was that pass breakup he had in the end zone on 3rd and goal, I believe it was. He had a very good game yesterday for sure.
I gave 5% of the blame on the officials who flagged Jack Campbell for what was one of the most egregious roughing the passer calls I've seen all season long. even over the last few seasons, really. The rule is you're not allowed to use your body weight to land on the quarterback. Jack Campbell braced himself with his arm, with his elbow on the right side of J.J. McCarthy and didn't land his body weight on McCarthy. That ends up being an interception by Thomas Harper because Kirby Joseph didn't end up playing. That could have completely flipped the game, and instead that was one of the Lions' 10 penalties, and the Vikings end up picking up a first down because of the penalty, and it completely flipped the game, I thought.
Yeah, that one was very frustrating. And obviously you had the other one, too, with Hutchinson with the more questionable one with the leg kick a little bit, the tripping call or whatever they called it. I think it still was roughing the passer. But, yeah, the Campbell one is the worst thing because especially when the guys on the broadcast are like, man, what's he supposed to do?
Right. Especially when
he didn't land his full body weight. Like, I do understand the rule of like the pile driving a guy into the ground.
Well, I'm here for the rule, but that didn't.
But that was not. It was that was not what he did. He just tackled him. And how else are you supposed to tackle a guy? I understand if the officials have to call it how the rule is, but man, that shouldn't be how the rule is.
I'm all for protecting the quarterback, but that was not applicable to the Jack Campbell. What should have been at least his second quarterback hit. The first one where he just throws Aaron Jones.
Yeah, McCarthy was
yards.
terrified, by the way. Like, McCarthy played great for sure, but he was terrified of Hutchinson and Campbell when they were blitzing.
Those two white guys on the front seven for the Lions, man, just causing mayhem nonstop. Campbell, I told you this pre-show. I think he's going to be a first-team All-Pro guy, and I know I've kind of been hinting at that since the preseason. I think I did have a show when I said I think he's going to be first-team All-Pro, but now that Fred Warner's out for the season, Jack Campbell's unbelievable. Every single game, it feels like, whether it's through the blitz, blowing up a screen pass, meeting guys at the line of scrimmage and laying the thunder, he just is a game wrecker. So that's why I was a little bit disappointed to see him called for that roughing the passer call, because he had played so good up to that point and already had a sack on the day as well. If that even it counted as a sack for him, but he really
the funniest sack ever.
He just threw Aaron Jones in at J.J. McCarthy, and J.J. McCarthy did a front flip over nothing, I guess.
Same with the Hutchinson sack, too. I mean, doesn't even really touch him at all. McCarthy just falls because of the presence of those guys. So, yeah, certainly neither of those two getting any slice of the blame pie.
Very up-and-down game for McCarthy. I thought he made some big-time plays when he had to. Other times, I thought he looked like a rookie quarterback, which is expected. And then I gave 2.5% of the pie to Frank Ragnow. I just continue to be very frustrated with the timing of his retirement. And it's not his fault. I'm sure he tried to play.
No, he did play, according to Tom Brady. He was the starting center for the Lions yesterday.
I'm not sure how that continues to happen with the Lions players. But no, I'm not mad at him. And I'm sure he really was internally debating whether or not he wanted to play this season. But to do it after free agency, I really just have to think that the Lions would still have Kevin Zeitler on their team if they knew way ahead of time that Frank Ragnow is going to retire. So that continues to be a theme that I think is not worth just looking over, the timing of the retirement. So that's the blame pie. I will say, I think the Vikings are a team that we can't just forget about the rest of the season. And their schedule's pretty brutal coming up. Ravens, Bears, Packers, Seahawks. But now that they've got a healthy offensive line, which, forgive me, I didn't think that was going to happen because Darrow Saw has subbed himself out of 4 different games leading up to the one yesterday. So, sorry, didn't think that was going to happen. Ryan Kelly's going to come back at some point, too, their center. A lot of offensive line talk today. I just don't think that's a team that you can count out from this point forward. Like I said, hard schedule, but now that Cashman and Van Ginkel are back on their defense, excellent coaching staff.
Cashman was phenomenal yesterday, by the way.
12 tackles at the end?
All over the place. Every time he blitzed, it seemed like he was at least making some sort of play in the backfield. I mean, this is kind of what I proposed last week. I still feel the Vikings were a bigger threat than the Bears in this division. Don't count them out. J.J. McCarthy just has to be better than Carson Wentz, and he absolutely was. So,
yeah, you nailed that. This is what both of us thought going into the season, that the Vikings were going to be the second biggest threat to the Lions in the NFC North. Obviously, the injuries derailed that. And I think I might have abandoned ship just a little bit too early with the whole J.J. McCarthy looming injury thing. But a lot of that stuff still seems to be true.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that trumps everything is you got to respect the hell out of their coaching staff.
Absolutely. Once again, this is something we definitely did not go away from. This is still one of the best coaching staffs in the league, if not the best. As far as all-around coordinators plus head coach, I think that they are a top 3 coaching staff, not a doubt about it, and that showed yesterday.
You know who doesn't have one of the best coaching staffs in their respective conference league? Michigan State.
Oh! Singer.
I dove down a rabbit hole of some of these assistant coaches.
We're talking football, by the way, right? No Tom Izzo shade here. We got college basketball starting.
Yet,
I was about to say,
yet.
I would have to come through that screen, maybe punch you.
No, I do want to work in some college basketball. Maybe it's a little Yaxel Lindenberg, Yanamera talk in a little bit, Colin Carr even. We'll do that at some point on the show, but I dove down a rabbit hole of some of the Michigan State assistant coaches, specifically one of them, and just how underqualified some of them are to be employed for Power 4 universities. I'm very excited to talk about that. Let's hit the news first. When we come back, we'll get to some Mitt messages as well, and of course do our stock exchange that we do every Monday here on the Ben Bosscher Show to close out the 9 o'clock hour. Show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time, whether you got a leaky roof, storm damage, I know there's a lot of rainstorms going on this time of year, or the siding on your house is looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned and trusted and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm, because there could be one as soon as tomorrow. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of the mall?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Hey sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on The Myth.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Myth, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). We will get back into the Lions here momentarily. We'll do our stocks. We'll have Steve Goff on to discuss some of the Michigan State concerns going into, I guess, just continuing on this season. And we're going to talk a little college basketball because that kicks off tonight as well. But let's start things out and hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Ben, we got a ton of news to dive into.
Yeah.
Really busy weekend, of course, with all the sports going on. November's like the busiest time of the year sports-wise. First off, though, let's check out the community calendar, as always presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Unfortunately, Ben, both of our D2 football teams in the Great Lakes Bay region, both falling this weekend. SVSU falls to Davenport 31-17, and then Northwood in that D1 rejects game, the D2 college game day, essentially, fell to Findlay 31-16. So very similar scores there.
I don't like the name of the D1 Reject Show. Can we come up with a different name for that?
You don't think that's cool?
I feel like...
Or is it like derogatory, you're saying? Like it's...
It would have made more sense pre-COVID, but now that we have all these D2 kids that like transfer forward, and like I'm thinking Fair specifically, their quarterback last year is now playing for Ole Miss. What if we called it...
And their quarterback again this year is about to go play Power 4 again?
Yeah,
probably.
what if we called it like... D1 Futures?
What if we made it more... never mind.
What?
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying, though.
Why did everyone do a look when you said that? I think I'm missing out on the joke.
We'll talk about it later. Okay, I know what you do want to talk about now, though. This isn't really news, but we got to talk about it. World Series. Dodgers win the World Series. God. Wow. This was an unreal Game 7. I was locked in. I mean, the Pistons were playing this Mexico City game, and I'm like, you know what? I got to watch this World Series game. I could care less about the Pistons right now. This was unreal. One of the better Game 7s in a long time.
I think this is right up there with the 2016 NBA Finals for the greatest championship series that I've ever watched. I didn't think Game 6 could be topped based on how that one ended Saturday night with the crazy play where the ball takes a trajectory right underneath the outfield wall and it gets stuck out there. Just a really wonky ending there. Game 7 was like, hold my beer. I got some of the craziest stuff you'll ever see.
I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to go 20 innings.
Yes.
Will Smith hits the homer, and I'm like, I want the Blue Jays to score, man. I just want this to continue.
If Yamamoto completely deserved the MVP, I'm not saying he didn't. Unbelievable. 3 wins, 3 appearances, threw over 200 pitches across the course of 3 games.
Best World Series pitching performance since Bumgarner, probably.
Yeah. And I want to compare Yamamoto and Skubal in a little bit. We'll save that. But Will Smith deserved that World Series MVP as well for catching every single pitch that was thrown, for hitting the home run. He just this entire Dodgers team, just a team that everyone says they bought their way here, but a lot of guys that just were somewhat unlikely heroes over the course of Game 7. And then for that play in the outfield to happen in the same inning as the play at home plate when what's his name comes in sliding and it's quite literally an inch away from being an out.
Right.
I would have 100% panicked in that situation and threw it to first base. And then what?
Yeah, it was Miggy Rojas, and he also hits the home run as well. Like,
yeah.
And by the way, Miggy Rojas had probably the best post-game interview I've ever seen. Like, he was
like in tears.
I was emotional watching it. Like, it was such a good post-game interview. Yeah, it was only the 3rd Game 7 of the World Series to go to extra innings. It was the longest World Series ever, innings-wise. Ernie Clement is the first player in history to have 30 hits in a single postseason for the Blue Jays. Like, so many first-ever things happened in this World Series. And anytime you hear first-ever in baseball, it's obviously incredibly impressive.
I was holding my breath for the last 4 innings of this one. And I think the play of the game was the ball that got hit to left center. And you're just watching these two guys not able to communicate.
Bottom of the ninth.
They're playing super shallow just in case someone hits it to the gap and they can gun them down at home plate. So they've got both a long way to go. Neither are communicating with each other. Kiki Hernandez would have definitely just had the ball hit his head.
Yeah.
And it just...
Andy Pajes, former Loon.
Right.
Sneaking in there. Give me that.
and they just collide into each other, comes up with the catch. And that was kind of the moment I knew. I was like, oh, man, they're going to win this thing. And you could see the defeat in all the Dodgers fans, or in all the Blue Jays fans that they were showing. We just got, not news, but our GM just told us about the ratings. 28 million, highest since 2017. Baseball kind of back.
It's awesome. I mean, you have the Canadian fan base combined with, obviously, it being the Dodgers and Ohtani and all the Japanese fan base that they have. Like, just awesome stuff. Let's move on, though. A lot of World Series talk there. Red Wings, they win another shootout last night. They take it 3-2 over the San Jose Sharks. They're now 9-4 on the season.
Just continue this hot start. This might not be a hot start anymore. This might just be who they are. Get them into a shootout. That's kind of where they thrive. Like, even going back to last year, they were so good in the power play situation. That was the only time they could score, because they've got a lot of these skilled individual offensive players, and that's why I think they're going to win more shootouts than they're going to lose. But now that they've combined it with some toughness on offense and defense, with the addition of Emmett Finney, like this is a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Awesome win. They're back in action on Tuesday. Still on this like West Coast type trip. They take on the Golden Knights at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Let's get actually one more baseball news in the mix here. Dylan Dingler has won the American League Gold Glove at the catcher position. He's the first Tigers catcher since Pudge Rodriguez to do it in 2007, and he's just the first Tiger to win a Gold Glove since Ian Kinsler in 2016. So shout out to Dingler.
Will Smith. Who needs a Will Smith? We got a Gold Glover on the team.
Right, of course. Okay, we'll quickly dive into, I know we're going to talk about this later, but over the weekend, Michigan beats Purdue 21-16, but unfortunately news for Michigan comes out that running back Justice Haynes, who did not play in the game, is set for surgery on that right foot. The hope is that he does return at some point this season, but there has not been a timetable given out yet. Anytime you hear surgery and it's November, though, your mind doesn't go to, oh, he's going to play again this season.
Yeah, if there's no timetable and the verbiage is just they hope he can return, doesn't this kind of mean like, hey, like maybe national championship?
Right, like college
maybe
football playoff, semifinal if you're there type thing.
This is like the Aiden Hutchinson broken leg scenario. It's like, we think he might be able to come back, but we're not going to give you a date or anything because we don't know if we're going to be playing football by then. Yeah, obviously a devastating injury, because Haynes leads all Power 4 running backs with like 140 yards per game, something like that. Jordan Marshall looked pretty good filling in for him.
Yeah, Marshall's good. Like, Marshall definitely is good, but no Justice Haynes truly is pretty tough. Let's quickly give out the MSU score. They lost to Minnesota 23-20 in overtime. That was terrible. Yet to find a Big Ten win. Some questionable stuff going on in that game, of course, but nonetheless, it's still a loss.
Well, the big storyline came right before the game at about 11:45 when we found out that Alicio was going to be starting.
Aiden Childs benched.
And this is why we need college football injury reports, by the way, because for 15 minutes, I'm texting all my people like, wait, is he hurt? Is he healthy? Is this a healthy benching? What's going on here? Please, just why can we not do mandatory college football injury reports?
Seems like it should be a thing.
Yeah, especially with everything that's going on right now with the betting stuff.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why it's not a thing.
All right, last thing in the news here, we'll just touch on this. Tonight, college basketball tips off. Both of our ranked teams in the state here are in action. Number 7, Michigan hosts Oakland. That's on FS1. And then number 22, MSU hosts Colgate. You can listen to that right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
Fantastic. All right, when we come back, we'll do our stock exchange. Guys, we are live on YouTube right now. Don't forget about that aspect of the show. So if you're listening in your car, on the radio, don't forget we're live on YouTube. Got a chance to watch it there. Always growing there. Always fun to see that subscriber count go up. So if you're new to the YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We'll keep this thing growing. Hopefully be the biggest sports talk show in Michigan that this state has ever seen to date. That's my goal. Help me out. 989-837-6125. Ace Hardware and Sports, locally owned and proudly family operated, right here in the heart of Midland. Take advantage of the $3 off Ortho Weed Killer, proven power to take your yard back, or go bigger with $10 off Spruce Weed and Grass Killer, tough on the weeds and easy on your wallet. Visit them on East Main Street, downtown Midland, right where local service meets big-time savings. Supporting your yard and your community, all in one stop.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower, and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, my mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, my dad would always just, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program. Visit 1009themit.com.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Nine 837-6125. Let us do our stock market exchange.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. The stock market.
The show goes on.
All right, Kyle, you seemed excited to do this week. I will let you go first.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going to start off with a question. I'm cheating here.
Okay.
We have to buy or sell stock on daylight savings time, right? I feel like it's just kind of one of those things that every time it happens, give your opinion. You're out on it. Let's hear why.
Okay, first of all, why do we do it on a Saturday going into a Sunday when everyone, you could pull 1 million people, every single person would say, why would we not do it a Sunday going into a Monday to give us an extra hour of sleep going into an actual work day?
I mean, it's like the day before. You still are getting the extra hour of sleep today, technically, like in your brain, you know?
I guess, but why not just do it the day after?
Because Saturday night, the last night, becomes the best bar night of all time, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I ever plan on being out at 2 a.m. again, so that doesn't apply to me. Second of all,
loser.
Why do we do it at all? Why do we do it at all? Now it's going to be dark at 5 o'clock. It was nice that on my drive in today, it was semi-light outside, but now it's going to be dark at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to be sad for the night.
Which one's
I'm out
worse?
on it.
Which one is better? Because do you value the sleep more or do you value the sunlight at night more? Because the one that happens at the other time of the year in the spring, you lose the hour of sleep, which is detrimental, but at least it starts to get brighter out at night.
How about we just don't do it at all, and then we don't have to worry about it ever?
It's like a farming thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, which was invented in, the 30s?
Yeah, weren't they going to, ban daylight savings a couple years ago? Wasn't that going to happen?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to run for president.
Okay.
And that's going to be my only thing.
Your only thing.
I'm just going to get rid of daylight
For
savings.
sure.
No more time switching.
Okay, I'll buy some stock here.
Isn't there a region that doesn't do it at all?
I think Arizona as a state just, opts out of that.
Yeah. No, I think Michigan should do that.
I think they just opt out of it, which is hilarious.
It's like a contract.
Yeah,
it's like the last
we're good.
year.
We're good
player
on
option.
that. I'm going to pass on that. Okay, I'm actually going to sell some stock here, and this is one I feel super good about. This has been in my notes all year long for this specific day. I'm selling stock on the people that are hopping into Christmas right now.
I saw Christmas commercials as of yesterday.
There's half of the people in the world. There's normal people who wait until post-Thanksgiving to start their Christmas stuff, and there's the super weird people that as soon as Halloween is over, then all of a sudden it's Christmas time. Come on. No, it's not. We still have a whole month until Thanksgiving, which is, by the way, a way better holiday than Halloween anyways.
Yep.
Once Thanksgiving is over, you can go full bore Christmas. I'm all in. I'll do the same thing, but not in November, man. Come on. Too early.
Honestly, Kyle, that might be the best take you've had in the 5-6 months of the show.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree more.
I appreciate that.
I'm selling my stock on the benches clearing in baseball games.
We didn't even mention that.
You've heard my stance on this. I think baseball players specifically are hold me back guys, to where it's I'm only going to try to engage in a fight when there's someone actively holding me back. But before then and after then, I'm all set on going after someone. It didn't even get to that in the Game 7 of the World Series when the bench was cleared. But it's 95 times out of 100 when the bench is clear, nothing actually happens
well, it's
anymore.
Not even the bench is clear. It's the dudes in the bullpen are like, we gotta go, everybody go. That's the best part about it because that is the funniest stuff. Especially just and Andres Jimenez, you think Robleski's throwing at you, trying to hit you. Down by 2 runs in Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, no, man. That's why he had some profound language to throw at him from the mound. Find the replay of that. That's hilarious.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, I am going to buy some stock here. It's start of college basketball season. I am going to buy stock on Yaxel Lendenborg to win the National Player of the Year.
Oh, wow.
He's at plus 1,000 right now. I think he's tied for 4th place for that.
Tied for 3rd.
You have a couple other big guys, and tied for 3rd.
Or I'm sorry, you're right, 4th.
Braden Smith is going to be the top guy for Purdue this year, absolutely. We saw Zach Edey go back-to-back at Purdue, so it's difficult to go back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Year. Smith was not the National Player of the Year. You have all these star freshmen. Darren Peterson at Kansas. Cam Boozer is the big headliner at Duke, and then obviously A.J. DeBonsa at BYU. I think Lendenborg is the best player in college basketball. Whether or not Michigan has a better season than Purdue, I'm not going to predict that. I think Lendenborg is the best guy in college hoops, so I will buy stock on him to win the Wooden Award.
I like that. Trying to figure out what I want to prioritize because I don't have a ton of time.
Right.
I'll buy some Aiden Child stock. This guy's going to ball out somewhere else next year. Just ball out.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he probably is. At least maybe not ball out, but he for sure will be better somewhere else. And that's buying stock in general, right?
Yeah. Let's go rapid fire.
Okay. I'm going to once again sell Bears stock. You beat the worst defense in NFL history on a crazy play, so I'll sell their stock.
Crazy game. I'll do same thing for Panthers. 5-4 with a win in Lambeau. Such a good win. Such a fake team. Good win, but not a playoff team.
Faker team. Panthers or Green Bay though.
Green Bay, considering people think they're Super Bowl contenders. Right. Can I do another sell back to back?
Why not?
I think we have this clipped as well. Gus Johnson is totally washed. Listen to this.
Saying over the middle.
Yeah, I what is wrong with his voice now? I don't get it. What happened to him?
Man, ever since Maserati Marv left.
He was so awesome when I was in high school. Not too many moons ago. And now every time I hear him have a big play, his voice is cracking, he's squeaking, he's just like losing his mind. The only thing he says is the player's name. I just am not a big Gus Johnson fan anymore. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Michigan-Ohio State game was that last year or the year before?
Both.
Left a bad taste in everybody's mouth with just the way that he messed up a lot of calls in that game. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough look for Gus Johnson. Nothing better than the Cardiac Kemba call, though. That's always going to be his go-to, and the Isaiah Thomas one, too.
Nothing better than the video of him inside of the Breslin Center secretly putting his mouth near his, what is this called? Your wrist?
What?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, when he was like hitting a vape in Breslin Center? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I do remember
commercial
that,
break?
Yes.
Someone sniped them doing it?
That is good. Okay, I'm going to buy stock on the Brooklyn Nets to be the worst team in NBA history.
So
they're
good.
0-6 right now, and you look at that roster, and there isn't anything you look at where you're like, yeah, this team could maybe go on a run here at some point. No, there's no chance. I think this team's going to win like 8 games this year and be the worst team ever.
I'll buy stock on Ohio State going back-to-back. They're disgusting.
I mean, that's just like a bad buy.
Is it?
They're like the lone team that's really good.
I don't know how you can't throw Indiana into that conversation. I really wouldn't be surprised if Indiana was ranked number 1 tomorrow.
I'm excited
just
for
based on the resume. But yesterday, I think was the first time I sat down and watched like pretty much an entire Ohio State game, or Saturday. They're just disgusting, man. I don't know how anyone's supposed to top that team. And I know Michigan's got their
Ohio State could.
Their little thing with it. You mean Ohio State could top Ohio State?
I thought you were talking about Indiana still.
No. I'm talking about Ohio State.
Right.
They're just offense, defense, special teams, passing game, run defense, pass offense. That's a special defense they got over there. Hold the opponent under 17 times, 8 straight games. There's been like 4 teams to do it. Every single one of them went to a national championship.
Got to beat Michigan still.
Couldn't be more right. 989-837-6125. Get back to the Detroit Lions and some college football when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Do we have any spray paint? Why? I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
He got him! That's 3 of them! The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
The Spartans tip off their 2025-26 season tonight. They host the Colgate Raiders from the Patriot League at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts tonight at 7, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in. 10 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Corning. We're going to talk to Steve Goff here from Lansing Sports Network in about 15 minutes because I think he is in very much disagreement with some of the stuff I put out on socials about how I think Michigan State handled the Aiden Childs situation. I think Michigan State failed him. So we'll get to that in about 15 minutes. Let's start the 10 o'clock hour discussing this Michigan game. I'm going to put it like this. Michigan's playoff hopes remain alive after that game. Michigan is, of course, right now a team that is at least threatening to make a college football playoff. If they run the table and win out, there's no doubt they're going to be to the college football playoffs. But still a lot of work to do. Now, with that being said, they cannot have another game like that from Bryce Underwood if that's going to be the case. That has to be his worst game of the season. And I don't mean like, oh, it has to be his worst game, like comparing it to other games. I mean, that game has to be the worst it gets. He can't have another game like that where he has 2 terrible turnovers in the red zone. The first of which, he's rolling out left, doesn't set his feet, tries to throw it back to the middle of the field, intercepted. Missed a wide open McCauley in the end zone. And the second of which was even worse. The fumble through the back of the end zone. How often does the team that fumbles through the back of the end zone end up winning the game?
Oof. Very rare. Not many times.
So the fact that Michigan was able to survive that, obviously it was a little bit closer of a game against Purdue at home than you would have imagined, than you would have hoped for, but they survived. The win matters. We'll see what the College Football Playoff Committee thinks of them tomorrow. No movement for them in the AP poll, despite a bunch of teams in front of them losing. They're still at 21 there. Their playoff hopes are still alive. I'm just going to say, Bryce Underwood can't have another game like that the rest of the way if they want to win that game. Because if he plays like that versus Ohio State, I'm telling you, Ohio State's going to rout him. And I know I said that last year. And I'm finally starting to think about the game because we're only, 3 weeks away from it. Other than the fact that Michigan has just had their number, there's not really any real logistical reason to be picking Michigan right now with the way that Ohio State's playing. And there's no way I'm going to be able to convince any Michigan fan out there that Ohio State's going to beat Michigan, right? There's no way I'm going to be able to convince you of it. But if you're just taking your heart out of it, forgetting the last few years, which I don't think you can or should, but if that's what you were going to do, I can't really think of any reason to point to say Michigan's going to win that game. And we're so far removed from that, I don't even know why I'm bringing that up. Ohio State's just nasty, man. And Bryce Underwood can't have another game like that the rest of the season if they want to make the postseason, because that's arguably the worst team you have left on the schedule. And you still barely won that game because of those two insanely crucial mistakes from Bryce Underwood.
Right, yeah, I think that's the best point you made there is the fact that Purdue is for sure the worst team on the schedule left. And let's say you have that type of game against Maryland the week before the Ohio State game. You're threatening yourself a loss there before that Ohio State game even gives you a chance to get into the playoff.
Maryland just fired their coach, too.
Right, exactly. And even Northwestern. Like, you had that game against Northwestern, both on the road. Like, Northwestern's not some pushover team like Purdue is. They're not like some all-star team either, but you play the way that you did in that game. Yeah, there's a real chance that, and obviously for Michigan as well, so many injuries in that game as well for them, which, similar to the Lions game, just every time an offensive play goes down, you feel like a different guy gets hurt, which sucks.
The Lions game was like a stoppage every 3 plays. I think it was the last 1 o'clock game to finish, or one of the last 1 o'clock games, because it was like flag or injury every single play.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, so many weapons on this Michigan offense go down in this game, and obviously didn't have any super, at least not that I've seen, long-term injuries for these guys, which is good. But, yeah, it's nice that they have the bye this week coming off of this Purdue game, because this was the easiest game on the schedule, and Underwood has – it's hard to say he's disappointed, because they haven't, like, lost any games they weren't supposed to win, you know?
He just hasn't progressed a ton.
Sure, yeah, and maybe we did expect him to progress more by this point in the season. And I still think the outlook for Michigan fans is beyond this year, but there is an opportunity this year. And I think that is you have to be happy with that. Like, at the end of the day, he's beaten all the teams, and this Michigan team has beaten all the teams they were supposed to beat this season. Have they done it in pretty fashion, a lot of them? No, not at all, really. But that game on Saturday was definitely a little bit of a, man, this has, like you said, it has to be a improvement after the bye this week.
Yeah. And with no Justice Haynes, at least the rest of the regular season, and likely beyond that, Bryce Underwood's going to have to put the team on his back a little bit. And, I think pretty highly of him as a person. Like, anytime I've heard, and this is going to sound like just a Michigan dude just glazing the hell out of his own team. That's not really what this is about. Like, anytime you hear him speak in front of a microphone, whether it's post-game press conferences, whether it's on-the-field interviews, any of it, he is a very mature 18-year-old. I have, without a doubt in my mind, like he's in the lab trying to get better, and I don't think he's like some immature kid or anything like that. But that has to be the worst game that he plays all season long. He's got to get rid of some of those mistakes. And you even saw Sharon Moore for the first time get kind of frustrated with it, because Sharon Moore has defended this kid every chance he's ever had. Anytime someone asks him a question about Bryce Underwood, he speaks very highly of him, which he should. Don't kill a kid's confidence. He's also probably getting paid more than you, or at least similar. I guess I don't really know. That's probably not true. But you know what I mean? Like, the kid's worth $12 million at this point. You don't want to talk badly about him in fear of him transferring. But with that being said, it's like you could even tell Sharon Moore on the sideline got a little frustrated with Bryce Underwood. It's like, dude, you got to hold on to the football in the red zone. You got to take care of the football. I don't know which one was worse. Probably the fumble through the back of the end zone, because the consequences of that are just detrimental. But the interception was just a really ill-advised decision. Not just a throw, but just a terrible decision on his behalf, rolling out left and trying to throw back to the middle of the field. That is quarterbacking 101. Never do that, ever. And he did it, and it cost the team.
Yeah, and I think when you just look at the way that this Michigan schedule is structured right now, you have this little lull in the middle of your season. I guess we're more towards the back half of the season now at this point. But
so weird, isn't it?
It is crazy to think
it's about. It's like we just started and
3
you
games
blink.
left for Michigan. That's unreal.
This double bye is throwing me off.
It definitely is.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't mind it. I think it's good. Like, it makes the season a little bit longer, that we see more games in week 0. But anyways, you have this little stretch of the season where you're playing, I know Michigan State is rivalry game. You've played 2 teams back-to-back that don't have a Big Ten win, and then plus your bye. So I think it is a little bit easy to look at that stretch of being like, okay, we played two of the worst teams in the conference, and then we have a bye. It's easy to maybe get a little bit complacent and lackadaisical for those weeks. I know that's never something that any team is purposely trying to do or wants to do, but it just does happen. It's stuff that happens in sports. You do get a little bit complacent at some point in the long seasons. And so
it feels like once a year Ohio State lets some nobody linger around until the third quarter.
Totally. And it happens to every team, like you said. And so that's why I'm not taking a ton into this game with Michigan. At the end of the day, they won, and I don't think there ever was truly a fear that they were going to lose this game.
No.
Obviously, they just let a bad Purdue team just hang around a little bit longer than you wanted to. But it's nice that you've gotten through those two games now that you can say, okay, yeah, these terrible teams, we got the wins against them. We have the bye. Can we shore some things up going into this final stretch? Because, like we just talked about, at Northwestern, at Maryland are two tougher games, with Ohio State being that last one. It's so tough to not look at the Ohio State game when that is your path to get to the playoff. But, of course, you have to go on the road 2 games in a row and beat some solid teams to even get to that point.
Yeah. What do you think the spread will be on those? Like 17-ish for both of them?
The Maryland and Northwestern?
Yeah, I'd guess 17 to 24 for both of them.
I bet Northwestern's going to be a little bit tighter. I would think Northwestern's going to be closer to 10 than it is to 20.
Oh.
I would say probably 12.5 on the Northwestern line. Maryland want to be, like you said. I mean, they fired their coach. They have been on a little bit of a skid lately. Have the Terrapins. So
remember when they started 3-0? We both sold our stock on them because they do that every year in non-conference play.
Maryland,
every single year they go 3-0 every year, and then they just fall apart once Big Ten play starts.
Yeah, what's it? 4 straight losses for them. Obviously, got killed by Indiana. So.
Hey, don't feel bad, man. Everybody gets killed.
Everybody gets killed. Yeah, that's why I don't feel that bad about State, right?
Right. Speaking of State, we're going to talk to Stephen Goff from the Lansing Sports Network here coming up. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9. The Mitt, the 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends at Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time. Global leader in material science right here in Midland, from the glass in your smartphone to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine. They're shaping the future, but it's not just about the technology. It is also about the people. Corning invests in the community with a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next. Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Again, Corning creates life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt. I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, so over the weekend, I think I ruffled a few feathers in the Michigan State Twitter community, and Steve Goff from the Lansing Sports Network took notice of it. He joins us now here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Steve, how you doing today?
Ben, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. Hey, we're gonna get to the Spartans basketball team that kicks off tonight a little bit later on, if that's all right, because I know you're gonna be in attendance for that one. But if I had to guess, you saw what happened over the weekend, and I don't know if it was what platform it was on, but here's my stance on it, man. Like, I think Michigan State completely failed Aiden Childs, and I'm not going to sit here and try to argue to everyone that Aiden Childs is this perfect, flawless quarterback, because he's not. He's extremely flawed, bad decision maker. But I'm looking at some of the coaching staff members and their past resumes. I'm looking at how poorly this offensive line and really just the roster of the team is constructed around him. I think he's a talented quarterback, and the fact that he was willing to follow Jonathan Smith and stay with Michigan State last season just to end up getting benched by for Alicio, who played good. Like, I'm not trying to look. Alicio was good. I just thought it was a little bit of a dirty move from Michigan State to bench the guy, and I get it. The Michigan State fan base had enough of him, but I guess I'm just not going to be surprised at all when he transfers to some Big 12 team or ACC team next year and is just a stud.
First of all, I would agree with you. Half of the sentence that you just said when you described Aiden Childs. I like the guy too. I like the drive that he has. He's at least through the first 3 quarters of his tenure here, he was very humble and very he would put all the stuff on himself. He's coached well, I think, in terms of how he deals with the press. By the way, there was nothing wrong with your post, and I saw it as your friend. I was like, poor Ben's getting hammered after this. I feel bad for the guy. But I will say I disagree with you, but I think that half of your sentence was true. He is a great, I'm going to say, athlete. I would love to see him out wide. Let Alessio come in and throw to him. Give him something to do. The guy clearly has athletic ability. He can run super fast. He could be another Nick Marsh for you. There are plenty of weapons on that Michigan State offense. Plenty of weapons. Any quarterback in the country would be frothing at the mouth to have those kind of weapons. It's not just Nick Marsh, and he's the one that gets all the pub. Omari Kelly, preseason list for one of the best receivers, one of the best transfers in. The same thing with Krishan McCray. You've got people transferring in. Rodney Bullard, another one from Valdosta State. There are weapons for days. Even the running game is starting to get better. But here's where I have a problem with Aiden Childs. He doesn't see the field very well. Mm-mm. And his you won't hear him say it, but you'll hear it. And there's rumblings. The staff will say he has a hard time seeing the field. You don't have that problem with Alessio Milivojevic. You don't. The guy stays in the pocket. He's poised. And this rhetoric about Alessio only getting a chance to play in cleanup time. Look what he did statistically against a pretty game opponent in Minnesota. And the guy put up over 300 yards. You don't see that. You don't see. He threw over, like, what was it, like 3 different receivers had a 75-yard catch or whatever. I mean, the guy is he found Jack Velling. Found him all of a sudden. Like, where's he been? I think the problem that Childs has is his body wants to run. He wants to run all the time. And I think that gets you in trouble when you've got an offensive line that is so depleted. They can't keep up with his decision making. They can't keep up with, like, is he seeing the field? Where is he going? He wants to take off and run. Oh, now we got to block. We don't know where he is on the field. The difference there is Milojevic will stay in the pocket longer. He will wait. He will go through his progressions. He will throw the pass. He gives his offensive line a chance to block. That is my only take on that. I have no trouble saying Aiden Childs is an outstanding athlete, amazing athlete. You know what? I again take advantage of that. Let him explore the field. Let him run. The guy can run. He's shown that. But I just, as a quarterback, Ben, I feel like he's had plenty of opportunities to lead this team, plenty of opportunities to develop a vision on that field. And I just don't think he's delivered this season.
No, and I think what's become clear is no matter how the season goes, whether he ends up being the starter or not, again, his time with Michigan State has just clearly come to an end. And I think Jonathan Smith made that pretty clear before the game started when it was announced that Aiden Childs was going to be on the bench. And there was about 15 to 20 minutes there where I was texting a bunch of people like, what's going on? Like, is Aiden Childs hurt? Is he benched? And this is why I'm always going to be a fan of, and it feels like we're getting pretty close to this, a college football injury report, so we know right away, like, oh, he actually did just get benched. But was this a decision that you think was made prior in the week, or was this a decision that kind of caught everyone, including maybe some of the players, off guard?
Well, in the press conferences, throughout the week, the one earlier last week on Monday, we had a chance to go and listen to Coach Smith speak, and he said, "Look, we're gonna give both guys a chance to get reps this week." So we knew that was coming. We knew that they were both going to get a chance to take, instead of, a 90-10 split or 75-25, they went 50-50. And I think Coach Smith wanted to see who's got more poise this week, who seems to be clicking with the first unit versus the second unit or whatever. And they gave both guys a chance. To me, it sounded like a good old-fashioned situation of, we need to shake things up. We need a spark somewhere. Let's give both of these guys an opportunity to get some reps and see what we feel and go by feel. And I think that's what Coach Smith did, was went with his gut and just thought that the spark would come from Alessio last Saturday. And I think that was the right move.
Usually, though, when you open that door prior, like in the week in practice, when you open up that door, usually that door is going to end up wide open. I feel like very rarely is it like, yeah, we're going to open up the quarterback competition and both these guys are going to get 50-50 looks, and then it goes back to the starter. You know what I mean? So
sure,
that can maybe be disguised a little bit like that, but I don't know. That felt like, to me, a decision that Jonathan Smith was like, you know what? I got to just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And, hey, I'll give him credit because, like you said, Alessio was pretty good, I thought. So, but I'm always going to go back and, like, especially in college, more so the NFL, look at who it is that's coaching these guys and, like, why Aiden Childs isn't seeing the field very well with that set of weapons. Obviously, the offensive line and the defense did him zero favors, but why is Childs not seeing the field very well? And I did a little bit of a deep dive. Their quarterback coach, John Boyer, the resume is almost just funny to me. And I'm not going to ask you to talk bad about any of these guys, but just help me make sense of this, because he was the tight ends coach at Oregon State in 24, comes over and was the quarterback's coach. Before the tight ends coach, he was quality control coach, senior advisor at Oregon State, which to me sounds like a little bit of a made-up job. And then before that, it's just a bunch of stuff at Northern Colorado. And to me, as a Power 4 conference team in the Big Ten, that obviously the last couple of years have been really bad, but should be in that second tier of Big Ten teams, that just seems like someone who's not qualified for the job.
Yeah, I don't know much about Jonathan Smith's team of coaches that he got to follow him from Oregon State. I think Coach Smith has a pretty good resume and track record, and I think he understands the game of football. If you listen to him speak about football, he obviously lives it and breathes it. And whether or not Spartan Nation feels like he's the fit for this job remains to be seen. I mean, you've got a campus full of Spartan fans who are getting restless. I'm just going to call it like it is in that regard.
They should be.
But yeah, and the question though is, if you go back to the greatest to coach at Michigan State, and I know that's a controversial take, but Mark D'Antonio was amazing. And the thing that he brought to the table was that stoicism and the patience. And he said it right off the bat. You know, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to take our time and build it the right way. That's what he said when he got his job. Now, you fast forward to the modern day football, you don't have that time.
No.
They're paying these coaches so much money that the fan base says, you know what, if you don't get me 11 wins now, I'm going to start hating you. And it's not fair to the coaches. You know, I don't think it's fair to them. On the other hand, they're making a boatload of money, Scrooge McDuckian amounts of coins coming their way, right? So I don't know, it's like a 50-50 thing. It's one hand feeding the other. Then you have to ask yourself, Ben, and this is the big question. You know, everybody's saying, well, it's going to cost so much money if we decide to part ways with him and stuff like that. You got to remember that, and also it's going to cost money to bring in the next coach, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing you should look at is, should that money be allocated to getting the resources around the coach? And I'm not, I'm talking the facilities are top notch here in East Lansing, right?
Yep.
But they've got to be able to get some star players here. And I hate to say it because I'll be honest, I can't stand NIL. I just can't. I'm old school. I'm an old man. What can I say? Back in my day, players didn't get paid, at least where people knew they were getting paid.
Right.
And I think that's part of the problem here at Michigan State. We're not doing that here, and other places are. And it may show in the box scores, but I'm old school. I'm like Tom Izzo. You know, I would rather coach a kid up from starting till the end of their career and then let them go on their way and be proud of the person they've become and stuff. That is just pie in the sky nowadays. You know, nowadays fans want instant gratification. They want wins. They want, 5-star recruits here. And, right now I think Coach Smith's doing the best he can with what he's got. But what I don't like is hearing the same thing in the press conferences week after week.
Yep.
I don't like hearing we've got to be better. Well, you're right. You do have to be better. Let's make it happen. Now you got 3 games to go this season. What's going to happen next? I mean, they've got to win out to get a bowl, and at the beginning of this season, Ben, I thought no problem getting to a bowl this year. With the talent they have on the offensive side of the ball and with health, which has been up and down, of course, they should have won 7 to 8 games easily this year. And if the ball bounces the right way, if a few calls go the right way earlier in the season, who knows? I mean, they were in these games earlier this year with USC and Nebraska. I mean, you look at those games, and if you get the UCLA win, I mean, we're having a completely different conversation at this point.
Yeah, I can't get behind you on the no NIL stuff, but I will say that, because I don't know, I think these guys are worked so hard where they should be getting paid for it. But the transfer portal is what I think is just who thinks it's a good idea to be able to transfer 4 times in 4 years?
It's the Wild West.
That's where you lose me. Like, what are we doing here? And obviously, Michigan State has not found a way to capitalize on that, and a lot of that has to do with the NIL. But that was kind of J-Bat's thing coming in, and that's why the university hired him. And Kyle, who's in the Zoom call with us, sent me an article on, maybe that was Friday, about something that J-Bat was kind of putting together. Maybe you can fill me in on this, because over the weekend I forgot to read it, but it sounded like he was launching an NIL program to some extent. I mean, it all kind of can get wrapped under the NIL program, but you know what I'm talking about here?
Well, they had the facility they were building, and I think they're just kind of reallocating some of the funds to kind of centralize where they're going. And a lot of the the corporate speak that gets used in those press releases, I think the bottom line is they're just kind of pumping the brakes on building a huge Olympic-sized building, for the Olympic sports that they were talking about, and maybe saying, look, we have really good facilities already. Let's give money to get those in better shape, but also let's put some of this money aside to perhaps get better athletes and coaches. I'm not saying that that's exactly word for word what they're saying, but I'm trying to read between the lines of the corporate speak and the press release. What about you, Kyle? I mean, you saw it too, right?
I saw obviously the Olympic, the building that they were looking to build is getting pushed off to the side. I read that as a either they're going to use that money with J-Bat coming in, obviously the football guy. I read that as obviously they're going to use that to try to boost this NIL foundation, or obviously potentially we know how large the buyout's going to be of Jonathan Smith if they do choose to move on from him. So that's obviously how I read it, but obviously it could be a number of different things.
You know,
we have J-Bat and Kevin Guskowitz, the president of the university, on every weekend when we're out at Michigan State, and I'm not going to ask them those types of hard-hitting questions when they stop by for a visit. I want to so badly, but I like both of those guys. I think, and I loved Alan Haller and still do. He's a great guy. But the direction of things with NIL, the transfer portal, all this stuff, J-Bat is the guy for this gig, because of his knowledge and his ability to drum up the resources and to get out in the community and ask people for help and to do that. And he's got a vision, and he does say it leads with your football team. But the thing that he's done well, I feel, is he's everywhere. So is President Guskowitz. We have a real good combination here at Michigan State, and we're very fortunate to have both of them. They are everywhere. I'll go to Munn and go to a hockey game. They're there. I might go to a soccer game. They'll show up there. A baseball. I mean, they're everywhere, which is great. That's what you want from your university. And to that end, I think J-Bat recognizes that the other success that Michigan State's having, volleyball team is playing at Breslin all the time. I mean, they are filling it up. I mean, it's amazing to see that kind of support for them. The gymnastics team's on the rise. Hockey, of course, is potential national champions this year. I mean, they're loaded. You've got traditionally non-revenue sports, quote unquote, that are starting to gain momentum for Michigan State, and that's a good thing. So I do think there's a reason to put money towards those programs, but you do lead with your football team, and that's something that J-Bat said from day one, and I think he's fair enough. I don't see him letting go of Jonathan Smith at this point, not till the end of the season at least, or at least taking a look at things. All this talk about that, I think, needs to be pushed aside. Let the guy coach. Let's see what happens at the end of this season and go from there. I mean, there's enough coaches being let go around the country that you just don't know from day to day what's going to go on. But I think J-Bat is fair, and I think he wants to, let Jonathan Smith see his vision the best way he can.
Yeah, I said after the Michigan game, I was like, okay, if you're not going to fire him after this one, he's just not going to be fired in the middle of the season. Like, that was rock bottom, and I just kind of expect it in the offseason now. But yeah, as much as this might sound bad to say, you got to just prioritize the football program over all those other Olympic sports. Mm-hmm. And you were saying it too. J-Bat's been saying it too. Like, all the money's got to be going there. And until you fix the program for football, you can't start worrying about these other schools. It's great, or these other programs. It's great what they're doing, but got to start with football. But basketball kicks off tonight. I know you're going to be in the building. Real quick, I don't want to steal too much of your time, but what are you looking forward to the most this season? You're 30 for Tom Izzo, right?
Man, 31.
31.
And yeah, it's first of all, anytime you get a chance to see a Tom Izzo basketball program in person, it's worth the price of admission. That man is Michigan State University. But what's great is the way he coaches. He loves his program. He loves his teams, and it doesn't matter who they're playing. If they're playing Colgate or this weekend when they play Arkansas, he's going to have his team prepped 100% to the gills. And what I think is the most fun is, this is the official arrival of fall for me, and my favorite time of year, when you get to see the football program, but you also get to see Tom Izzo's teams taking the floor. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. It's like the world feels complete now. Michigan State football and basketball, both on the in front of the fans.
I got two words for the things I'm the most excited about. Cohen Carr. I want to see this guy take flight tonight. This is going to be...
Me too. I want to see him take flight, but I don't want to see a performance like the other night. The whole team kind of looked a little flat against UConn, and I think Coach Izzo would be the first to say that. I'm not sure what it was, but I can tell you that Danny Hurley is not going to take an exhibition game lightly. That guy's out of his mind. Most of the time, in a good way, right? He's so passionate, and Coach Izzo as well. I think the team was tired, maybe, or something from the flight. I don't know, but it just wasn't a typical Michigan State team. It was surprising they kept it within 7 points, and I think tonight's going to be off the chains, and I think you're going to get a few, rattling dunks at least from Cohen Carr, and then probably a couple of threes. How about that?
I know. The thing that he added to his game last year wasn't just a three, but like he could put the ball on the floor, which I thought unlocked in a completely new thing. Because when he was a freshman, it was only dunking. Like that was the only thing. So it's been fun to see him progress. The other thing I'm looking forward to is this rivalry that has kind of blossomed between, or reignited at least, between Michigan and Michigan State. That was an awesome chapter for Dusty May and Tom Izzo last year, and to see that kind of grow into this year, with both teams looking like they're going to be at the top of the Big Ten standings, I can't wait. So Steve Goff, Lansing Sports Network, appreciate you joining us. Hopefully this isn't the last time we talk this fall.
Anytime, man. Thanks for having me. See you, Kyle. See you, Ben.
Have a good one. All right, once again, Stephen Goff, Lansing Sports Network, going to be in the building tonight for the Spartans' first game here of the 2025 season, college basketball. All right, let's take a trip around the league when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5. That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
He got him! That's 3 of them! The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
The Spartans tip off their 2025-26 season tonight. They host the Colgate Raiders from the Patriot League at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts tonight at 7, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's always the busiest time of year in sports, you know? With college football, NFL, basketball starting up, NBA in full swing. Now we got college entering things.
Baseball just ended, too.
Yeah. Only one equinox. We'll get another one. All right, let's go over some NFL stuff by taking a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, let's take an updated look at some of these division odds we have here because, there's a lot of big-time losses yesterday in the NFL. They're going to have some implications on the standings. So
for sure,
let's look at some of the odds. Do you want me to guess them? Is that what we're going to do?
Sure. I mean, I'll have you just guess like the order of them because obviously guessing the specific odds might be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe for some of them I'll have you guess some of the odds because you seem to know a little bit about that whole sports betting type of thing.
Well,
right?
I feel like I have at least one bet in every division, so like I somewhat monitor it. But let's start things out in the North. This has to be now one of the closest odds in terms of...
Right. You got no teams under 500.
All four teams, at least, like, I can't imagine anyone's longer than plus 600 odds.
Especially when the top two teams lose and then the bottom two teams win. So let me get your order right now as far as what you think this is to win the division.
I'm going to go the exact same as we did going into the week, which kind of defeats the purpose of this, but is it Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears?
Well, going into the week, it was not that order.
Oh, well, that would be my
But
guess.
it is the order that it was going into the week. Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings. They still got the Bears above. Obviously, if the Bears would have lost, I think this would have been flipped, but they get that last-second win. Packers, Lions, super tight, though. Green Bay plus 110 to win the division. Lions plus 130 to win the division. And then you have the Bears at plus 900, Vikings at plus 1,300.
Is that worst loss of the year? Carolina at home?
When you were 14.5-point favorites?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
I told you, too many points.
You were 100% right. Bryce Young wasn't even good. I had to start him in fantasy because Jalen Hurts was on the bye. He got me 7 points, and they still somehow managed to win that game. Because Jordan Love is just not a good quarterback. I've been screaming it to anybody who will listen for the last 2 years.
I should have put the clip on the screen. Worst throw I think I've ever seen in maybe in human history, actually. Not even just NFL.
Thinking?
I mean, that was the worst pass of all time, and then it somehow didn't get picked off. That was the funniest part about it. Yeah, that was just a brutal game.
He's an above-average quarterback. He's got the tools. He's got the traits. But there is no defining trait about him that makes him special at all. Same thing with all the pass catchers. It's the reason I've been saying this since the very beginning. I'm just not afraid of their offense. Their defense is awesome.
Let's pop over to the NFC West, who had both Seattle and the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers all pick up wins. This is definitely the most top-heavy division in football right now.
I don't know how you can't be taking that Seattle team seriously at this point. I'm just glad the Lions don't have to play Seattle this season.
The lone division that has 3 6-win teams currently.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the North has 3 5-win teams, but 3 6-win teams is crazy. What do you think the order is to win that division?
I still think the Rams, just the pedigree, the market, the quarterback, the coach, I think they have to be the favorites in this.
They are. This line is actually, this has moved since I looked at it this morning. They were separated by just like 5. It was 125 and 130. It is now Rams plus 125, Seahawks plus 160.
Okay, everybody's just smashing the Rams then.
And I think a little more people are betting on the Niners because they have shorter odds as well. They were plus 350 this morning. They're now just plus 300.
Is Brock Purdy ever going to play?
I don't know.
He's been like teetering. Like the J.J. McCarthy thing picked up the most steam, and then everyone got pretty upset with what happened with the Ravens last week where it was like Lamar maybe could have played, but the injury report stuff got weird. Are we just going to ignore that Brock Purdy's been like week to week for like 2 months? It's like, yeah, I think he's probably going to play next week. And then he just never does.
Yeah. Man, I just love watching Brad open all these boxes in the background of this shot. so funny.
It's good stuff.
Good work, Brad.
All the new studio equipment coming in.
Okay, well, let's kick over to the AFC North. Obviously, the Ravens are back, people are saying, but the Steelers beat the Colts yesterday. Whoa, that came out of nowhere. What do you think it is for this division?
The Ravens still got to be heavy favorites. Minus 250.
No. They are favorites, though, but it's tighter than you think. Minus 125 to win the division. Steelers plus 130.
Seems like great value, honestly.
On Baltimore.
On Baltimore, yeah.
Steelers with that big win, though, definitely is kind of crazy.
Sure, it was a worse loss for the
Right.
for the Colts than it was a good win for the Steelers, though, I would say.
Let's do one more Division 1, and then we'll do a grand scheme conference, because I think the conferences are interesting now.
Yeah.
AFC West. Obviously, the Broncos pick up their 7th win of the season. There's not many 7-win teams in the NFL. As a matter of fact, there's only 3. All of them are in the AFC, which is hilarious.
Seahawks?
And the Chiefs lose. Seahawks have 6.
Oh. Yeah, I still think Kansas City's got to be the favorite here, because if there's ever a plus in front of them, everyone would just smash it. They're not going to let anyone bet on it.
There is a plus in front of them.
Oh.
But they are still the favorite.
Yeah.
Plus 125. Broncos are plus 130. They're 2 whole games behind Denver right now. But like you've noted several times, they still got to play twice, which plays into this, obviously. I think Mahomes beat the Broncos 13 straight times or something to just open up his career. It was something crazy like that.
It's a much different Broncos team, though.
It is, and they seem to pull out a lot of these tight games in the fourth quarter. So we'll see. Chargers obviously are wedged in between them two at 6-3. Okay, let's look at the conferences, Ben, and then we'll wrap up around the league. As far as to win the conference, I want you to guess the top 3 in the AFC and NFC. You don't need to guess the odds, but as far as top 3 favorites to win each conference.
I'm going to go AFC first.
Okay.
Bills have to be the favorite. No?
Wrong.
Chiefs still?
Chiefs are still the favorite.
That's unbelievable.
Plus 280. Bills are plus 290. So very,
really is
very
unbelievable.
Close. After a head-to-head win.
I'm going to say Baltimore here. I think people are going to overreact a lot out of that Colts game.
Colts are still third.
Okay.
Plus 550. I thought Denver would be third personally, but I guess it's probably just because of the division for the Colts.
Yeah, first-round bye still in play.
They're still probably going to get a first-round bye.
The Colts or the Chiefs definitely just lost out on their chance to get a first-round bye yesterday, didn't they? Now they're 5-4.
5-4. Yeah.
If the playoffs started today, they wouldn't even be a playoff team.
Right. Exactly. So
they're not getting a
crazy.
first-round
They're
bye.
still the favorite to win the AFC, and then you have
who's even eligible for a first-round bye in the AFC at this point? The Bills, the Patriots,
Bills,
the Colts?
Patriots, Colts, and then Denver. I mean, if Denver, they're still 7-2. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
they have to be at least in play for it.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, and then Denver's 4th. The Ravens are 5th, by the way, to win the AFC. How about the NFC? This is where it's really juicy because there are 5
so many teams right at the top.
5 teams, Ben, with plus 600 odds or shorter to win the NFC.
Eagles, I would imagine, are favorites.
Yep, plus 370.
The bye week does wonders sometimes. I think the Lions are still going to be valued. I'll go them too.
Incorrect. Lions are 3rd at plus 480. Rams are 2nd, plus 450. Listen to this tight bunch here. Rams plus 450, Lions plus 480, Packers plus 500, Seattle plus 600. All of
Why
those
does
teams
no one want
are
to take Seattle? Seattle's been nothing but
at the
lights
end of the day,
out.
it is a Sam Darnold-led team. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm doubting him, but when you have Goff and who's been to a Super Bowl, you have Stafford who's won a Super Bowl, Hurts has won a Super Bowl,
Tampa just...
We all
did not do them.
We
any
all saw
favors.
the end of the season went for Sam Darnold last year. I think is probably what's playing into that a little bit.
For sure.
But yeah, no Tampa Bay, plus 1,100 for Tampa. That'll do it.
The bye did nothing for them.
By the way, Josh Allen, favorite to win the MVP as well.
Still holding out hope that my guy Drake May gets it done. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, let's play some word association.
I'm ready.
Spring.
Repairs.
Wind.
Roofing.
Rain.
Gutters.
Leak.
Buckley Satinberry Repair.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
No, son. Who do you call?
Buckley Satinberry Repair.
That's right. Don't wait until spring. Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. The leaves are falling down. Make the cleanup easier on yourself. Save $20 instantly on select Craftsman V20 brushless outdoor power equipment kits. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And a steal of a deal on an Ace gift card. Free $10 gift card when you buy a $50 gift card.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening, hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
He got it! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay region's home for Spartans basketball.
The Spartans tip off their 2025-26 season tonight. They host the Colgate Raiders from the Patriot League at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts tonight at 7, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
College basketball kicks off tonight. Don't worry, we'll get back to the Lions to open up the 11 o'clock hour, but I did want to squeak in a few things because I think there's real reason to be excited about this season, whether you're a Michigan or Michigan State fan. These are going to be two teams at the top of the conference, I think, when it's all said and done. And there are also two teams that could have some first-team All-Big Ten guys when the season comes to an end. You already mentioned you think Yaxel Lendeberg's going to win the Wooden Award for Player of the Year. That would be your prediction. This is one of the best defensive players in the Big Ten upon arrival. This is someone who's going to be a lights-out scorer, 3 levels as well. But
yeah,
Adai Mara might be the key for Michigan to actually be like a for-real championship team. Because it's nice to have the do-it-all player like Yaxel, But to have the dominant paint presence that Mara brings to the table, the 7'3" center from Spain, think Golden, but even a little bit taller, to have that guy in addition to Yaxel, that front court is definitely something that everyone else in the Big Ten should be on lookout for.
Yeah, not as good of a player as Vlad Golden, I would say, but definitely is going to be a better rim protector, defensive player than Golden was. Isn't going to be like this offensive hub that they used Golden for a lot last season.
No, but Golden also never shot threes prior to last year.
Right.
And then he started shooting threes and was pretty good at them.
True.
I don't know why Mara can't develop one eventually.
And we saw in year one of Dusty May at Michigan this big duo of having kind of the forward big that truly would be a 5 on most other teams play like a guy on the wing in Danny Wolf. Yaxel Landenborg is going to be exactly like that this season, and just a much better player. He also was the Defensive Player of the Year in the American Conference last season, so added with the Player of the Year.
And the year before.
Right.
Back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year.
He's an elite defender and then also an awesome offensive player that kind of does it all. And then you add that with the fact that there's going to be, like you said, a humongous tree with him defensively. Like, Michigan is going to be an elite defensive team this season as far as in the paint goes. The guys in the perimeter will find out. But then you also have these two extremely talented offensive bigs that are going to mesh really well together. They were a great offensive duo a year ago, the big men. They're going to be even better this season.
Yeah, because Yaxel's a little bit less of a traditional big. I think he's
really not
more
big.
of a wing.
Yeah, he's a big forward, he's a large forward.
Like, he's the perfect stretch 3, stretch 4 in the NBA. That's why he was a prospect last season, and decided to return, because I think by the time this season's done, there's a pretty good chance he's looking at being a lottery pick.
And some money bags, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to play into another tremendous season this year on a bigger stage, so for sure.
And then as for the Spartans, I mean, we brought this up with Stephen Goff. Colin Carr is, I think, ready to have a breakout season after another breakout season that he had last year, to where he took that step forward. He could knock down an open 3 if he was wide open. Now I want to see his handle improve. I want to see him be able to maybe even run a pick and roll, like be an initiator on offense. Because if we get that version of him, it's where you kind of have to worry about his passing as well. All of a sudden, that's how he becomes one of the most electrifying players in college basketball. I mean, he already is that. Now it's just about taking that step forward and being a dominant
being a better all-around
offense.
player, right? Like, can he actually be the star player of the team? Because there was once a time where 2 years ago, Colin Carr was an unplayable defensive player. Like, he was truly a horrific defender. And last year, he took a huge leap on that side of the basketball. He's gained a ton of muscle. Obviously, we've seen that, and he did again this offseason. They're going to have him shoot a lot more this season. And to me, the biggest thing with Colin Carr is, look, all this talk in the offseason, as soon as MSU's season ended, was, man, Colin Carr's about to go to Arizona. Like, these teams are going to just give him a bag. Remember that talk? There was all this bag talk about transfer portal Colin Carr, and he's back. And I would assume that MSU's not paying him as much as, obviously I don't know this is just my speculation, as much as these other teams were offering him. So what does that mean he's promised this year? Like, what does that mean that they buy into him this season? Is he truly going to be the star player at MSU this year? Does he have that type of potential in him just in year 3? Or is it going to take till year 4? That's what I'm excited for, because, like, would you be shocked if Colin Carr's the Spartans' leading scorer this year?
No, not at all.
That's MSU's biggest question mark right now, is they don't have a top dog leading scorer. Like last year, we thought it was going to be Jaden Akins, and it just ended up being Jace Richardson. This year, there's a big hole in that spot, is who's going to score all the points on this team. Jackson Kohler probably comes to mind, but I think Colin Carr for sure could be that guy this year.
Kohler's going to be so fun, because he's like one of those guys that the other
Senior
teams,
year.
The other team's like, who the hell is this doughy white guy? Like, he's not going to torch us. No, he's actually going to get 10
with the mohawk. Yeah, exactly.
with the 2009 mohawk.
Just the worst cut you've ever seen. Yeah. No, I love Kohler. But
no, he's going to go for 14 and 10 every night.
Yeah. I think Carr, though, has a real shot to be like a 16, 17 points per game guy this season and lead them.
You saw it in the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, he started to have those like pretty big, like the win against Mississippi Ole Miss when he had the 15 points and was coming up with offensive rebounds. That was, and hit a 3 in that game. That was the stuff where it's like, okay, that is the steps we need to see from Colin Carr. So really exciting stuff.
Going to get a lot of Carson Cooper this year, Ben.
Oh my God. I can't believe he's still the starting center. I really can't. He's the worst player in the Big Ten. I really believe that. Back to the Lions when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
The Cardinals, fresh off the bye, head to Arlington to face the Dallas Cowboys. Coverage tonight at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
989-837-6125. This number, the Mitt messages. We've also got our YouTube chat as well. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button there, go ahead and do that. Who wants to be our 640th subscriber? We'd appreciate it. So what's the biggest concern coming out of the Detroit Lions game against the Minnesota Vikings? Because to me, it's reigniting this conversation about the offensive line, specifically the interior guys. Like, I don't mean to sit here and bore everyone with offensive line talk, but at that same time, like, this is what the Lions have been built on over the past 4 years, ever since Dan Campbell arrived. And then for them to have that poor of a performance against this Brian Flores defense that returned a couple starters, to have that poor of a performance against Green Bay week 1, all of a sudden, like, we're starting to revisit some of those conversations that we had after week 1 because Minnesota lit this team up. And it's not just the interior guys. This has been a problem really all season long, not just against Minnesota and Green Bay, but 125 yards per game this year on the ground after 65 versus Minnesota. It was 146 last year. It was 135 the year prior. It was 128 the year before that. You'd have to go all the way back to Dan Campbell's first season when the Lions went 3-13-1 to find an average lower than what the Lions are doing right now. And when you have a backfield as talented as Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and you've had the success that you've had running the football over the past few years, for you to be running the ball like this, it's pretty disappointing. And obviously, if the Lions aren't going to be able to run the football as dominant as they've done the last couple of years, Jared Goff's just not going to play as well, and you saw that yesterday. I don't think Jared Goff had a particularly poor game, but a lot of third and longs, which have not gone the Lions' way at all this season. They're converting 36.7% of their third downs, which is 25th in the NFL right now. So my biggest concern coming out of this one is the interior of the offensive line that might have lost another piece in Christian Mahogany for the time being.
I think that just has to be the biggest takeaway or biggest concern. Like, I hate to just agree with you here, but, like, how can it not be? I've seen some Lions fans really frustrated with the defense yesterday. Like, how do you let J.J. McCarthy, who hasn't looked good all year, dice you up? I don't know. I thought the defense actually was kind of fine.
He had 143 yards, and he made, like, there was a few passes he made that I thought were just, no matter how good the defense was, just threw it right where it needed to go. The pass to Addison that got dropped on his first drive for a touchdown.
Totally. Awesome
Perfect
pass.
throw.
The pass to Jefferson, like, both of those were
throw.
defended well. Both of those were absolutely defended well. Like, it was just a great play from quarterback and wide receiver.
Even the play that ended the game to Naylor.
Yeah.
Like, just an incredible throw. It's not like
coverage was there. It's just a good throw and a good catch. Like, they were outplayed in that sense. And so, and with the amount of times that the Lions went 3 and out, like, the defense was off the field for just minutes and then had to get back out onto the field. Like, I thought the defense was honestly pretty good yesterday. I did see a good amount of Lions fans were upset on that side of the football.
No, I don't understand that at all.
I don't either.
I thought Hutchinson was a monster
just gonna
yesterday.
say that. I thought Hutchinson truly had one of his best games of the season yesterday. Like, the amount of times that he was just killing the double team and getting to McCarthy. Obviously didn't get to him with a true sack at all in yesterday's game. Had the one where he, touched him with his pinky finger, and all of a sudden McCarthy
He didn't get credited for a sack there?
He did, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he did get he got a sack, but, like, it wasn't what you thought. Nonetheless, I thought the defense was good. But like you're saying, sorry, you got the PFF stuff?
Yeah. This is pretty shocking to me. Hutchinson only had 7 pressures.
Don't buy it.
I would have guessed this was one of his double-digit games, which seven's like a good number for anyone else.
When he truly is getting double-teamed every play, though. Like, you watch, if you just honed in on Hutchinson yesterday, it was nearly every play.
Win rate at 25%. So when he was being single-teamed, like, he's a dominant force. And
totally.
7 is good for any other player in the NFL. But to Hutchinson's standards, it's a little bit
Slow
below.
for him, yeah.
I would have thought it was a little bit higher. The one penalty was somewhat of a killer, too. Maybe the PFF grade.
That was a tougher penalty, yeah.
Yeah. Could have improved some of those stats,
but it's
too,
the O-line. The O-line is what you're
the
concerned
O-line.
about. Absolutely. The interior, and honestly, if we want to just shrink it down even more, it's Graham Glasgow. Like, that to me is the concern. I know that Tate Ratledge and Mahogany didn't have these great games, and I know that Mahogany, the injury is definitely concerning because he has been fine this season overall, I would say. But Glasgow in general, there was times, we talk about how much Brian Flores blitzes, but there was times where they're bringing one guy on the blitz or maybe just still rushing 4. And it's the interior that it was getting to Goff every single time. That it is just getting shrunk in on a daily, or they would do those packages where they're splitting up their edge rusher and the defensive tackle to try to, like they'll cross them or whatever on the rush route. And it was messing with Glasgow every single time. That to me is the biggest issue. The center, which is obviously not something we're used to as Lions fans.
Yeah, the Vikings ended up pressuring Jared Goff 26 times. In terms of the run defense or the pass blocking grades, Mahogany ranked out as the worst guy, 19.9 grade. He's probably going to be out for a while.
That's so bad.
It's pathetic. Glasgow wasn't much better, though, 33.9. That's just unacceptable from your veteran center, who's supposed to be the leader of the team, at least one of the leaders of the offensive line, it's 33. It's not like he's ancient, he just hasn't really aged well. And we saw this happen last year to where the PFF grades just got worse and worse and worse as the season went on, to the point where against Washington, he had his worst game of the year. And I don't want the same thing to be happening right now.
Yeah.
The no Kevin Zeitler thing
stinks.
Maybe that's a guy they call. Trade deadline's tomorrow.
Truly, that seems like one of the more realistic things that could happen. Like, if they ever were to trade for an offensive lineman, it'd be a guy that was in the building a year ago.
Yeah,
Clearly
a guy that
had a rapport here.
They know what he's about.
And they just had one of their guards go down with an injury, and he's on one of the worst teams in the NFL that has already been selling their players.
It makes sense.
How's he been this year, though? I really haven't paid a ton of. Obviously, I haven't paid a ton of attention to that team.
You're not paying attention to offensive line play from the interior of the Titans' offensive line,
right? That is something I've not been paying attention to.
Let's see.
Because obviously, like you said, trade deadline's tomorrow. We haven't expected the Lions to make any huge moves. Maybe not even make any moves at all. This would be one of the years where if they did nothing, I wouldn't sit here and be like, why are they doing nothing? Like, I wouldn't be that upset about it. But you see the Eagles making all these moves, which we'll talk about that in the news in a couple segments.
Another one today.
Just crazy amount of moves that they are making. They always are. We don't see the offensive lineman get dealt too much, but that could be something that seems semi-realistic.
Zeitler's numbers are down. His grades are down from last year, but that's
surrounded by a worse offensive line.
Yeah, when you're pinched between Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell, 2 Hall of Famers, and you end up on the Titans offensive line, your grades are probably going to shrink a little bit. I have no doubt he could help improve the offensive line.
Absolutely.
And this is
what
kind
if
of
they
the
played
perfect
him at center.
Right. This
Like,
is
they
kind of the
probably
perfect
wouldn't,
reason to do it with Mahogany going down. In what Dan Campbell said is going to be a while. So whether or not he's coming back, I guess, is in question. He had a very similar injury to what happened to Hutchinson, just kind of got leg whipped, hit him, someone else's leg hit him below the knee, and it didn't look good. It wasn't as gruesome, but
yeah, it looked really gross.
It didn't look
not gross, but it looked like it hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing with the offensive line too, and the reason that just kind of has to be the answer is they can't run the football, nor can they protect Jared Goff. And there's a reason that Goff has had so much success against that Minnesota team, against Brian Flores. It's because they had Ragnow's level of communication, like a Hall of Fame level communication, a Hall of Fame level pass protector, a Hall of Fame level run blocker as well. They miss out on that guy, a lot of inexperience there. And I think the communication's been the most difficult part. Now Jared Goff has had no time to dissect the blitz and dissect the defense, because before he can even get in his drop back, there's just guys from the middle of Brian Flores' defense rushing after Jared Goff. Sometimes it felt like untouched pretty quickly there. It's the fact that they can't pass protect and all the rushing numbers are at like all-time lows for Dan Campbell, it just has to be the biggest thing. If you're going to point to something else, it'd be the third down stuff. Yeah, I don't know what some of these third down play calls are.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Maybe you kind of segue the offensive line, or you split up the offensive line in the play calling, because I think the play calling, I'm not going to sit here and doubt John Morton. Like, they showed the stat up on the screen yesterday that Goff's numbers are all up this year under John Morton than they were under Ben Johnson, completion percentage,
it's just
all
the
that stuff.
Third down. They can't pick up third downs.
Right, and it felt like there was just the run game in general, which does correlate to the offensive line. I mean, how many times yesterday, Ben, did they run the football and get 1 yard? 0 yards.
All year, it feels like that happens 10 times a game.
It's a good Vikings defensive line. It's a good front. Like, I'm not going to act like they were playing against Cincinnati yesterday. But
they struggled against Cincinnati too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The fact that they haven't been able to establish a run after you and I both kind of went into the year thinking, hey, this is potentially a Jahmyr Gibbs, like, truly special season in the works, a season where he could win Offensive Player of the Year, and that obviously has not come to fruition even a little bit. David Montgomery struggling even more.
We were talking about it a little bit after the Bucs game. I mean, we got to
He's had one epic game. Everything besides that has been
and you would have thought,
mediocre at
You would have
best.
thought that at the beginning of the season, if you told us that, like, oh, he's not having an Offensive Player of the Year type of year, then you would have thought, okay, well, Montgomery is still really involved then. And he has.
Not
I mean,
really.
this has been Gibbs' backfield this year. There's
100%.
no doubt about it. Montgomery has been the RB2 this year. Not even close.
It's not a 1A, 1B situation anymore.
No.
Except yesterday it kind of was because Montgomery got more carries.
There was a lot of time, too, where Gibbs was just not out on the field. And I was like, where's Gibbs? But it didn't really matter who was out there. You know, they just weren't going to be able to run the football.
And I think most of those problems, if not all of them, are coming from the interior. And Taylor Decker will have his, like, once in a while where it's like, ugly
Shout out
play.
to Decker for coming back in, too.
And Sewell for getting poked in the eye and coming back in.
I mean, I thought Decker
that
was
guy's
gonna
a
miss.
warrior.
I thought Decker was going to miss the rest of the game, absolutely.
Decker may not be in his prime anymore, but tough as nails still.
Totally.
I thought, yeah, you're right. I thought he was done when he got ruled out or ruled questionable to return with a knee injury. It's like, that's it. Like, we're actually cooked. Sewell, I picked up on the Sewell thing earlier because I was like, he's holding his leg or something. Like,
yeah.
And then he got poked in the eye.
And he seemed like he banged up his shoulder too, correct? On that play in the third quarter. I think that was a shoulder or collarbone type injury.
And he went either in the medical tent to the locker room, but came right back out. And there's no way you can.
We're
going to
find out some
stuff,
I think, this week about some of those injuries, and hopefully there's nothing bad.
It sounded like the only significant one was Christian Mahogany. Somehow Tara Arnold finds a way to not be in the game at least a few snaps every game too. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. So the World Series ended this weekend, and I feel like Skubal might have lost something. Skubal might have lost something despite not playing in the World Series. I'll tell you what that is when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people that you can actually talk to. Yiter Insurance Group, they'll be there when you need them since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, I know it's late, but I just had a fender bender, and I wasn't sure who to call.
You did the right thing. At Yiter Insurance, we're here for you 24/7, day or night, weekday or weekend. You'll always get a real person ready to help. Backed by Auto Owners Insurance.
Life doesn't happen on a 9-to-5 schedule, and neither does Yiter. With trusted partners like Auto Owners, whether it's a claim, a question about coverage, or just peace of mind, you can count on us anytime you need us.
Yiter Insurance, your friends in the insurance business. Always on, always here for you. I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CARD to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
He got it! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay region's home for Spartans basketball.
The Spartans tip off their 2025-26 season tonight. They host the Colgate Raiders from the Patriot League at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts tonight at 7, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chatting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the district final round. The 9-1 Dow Chargers keep surging. They host the 5-5 East Lansing Trojans at Midland Community Stadium. Dow's looking for their first district title since 2015. Dow and East Lansing, pregame coverage at 6:50 Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. World Series, one of the best games, one of the best series we've had in quite some time. Wrapped up on Saturday night. Game 7, extra innings. All the incredible stuff. Yamamoto comes in and picks up the win out of the bullpen. It was his third time pitching in the World Series. And there's been some talk, Kyle, that Skubal lost his chain. And it got snatched by Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the title of the best pitcher in the world. And I've got to say, when someone does that in the World Series, picks up 3 different wins, wins World Series MVP. I know he didn't win the Cy Young in the NL this year, but maybe this is prisoner of the moment. It's pretty hard to not say that that person should be considered the best pitcher in the world right now. It's unbelievable, the stuff he's doing.
I don't know. Who's saying that? Who's saying his chain got snatched? What if I go snatch their chain?
I'm hearing the streets
for
are saying
that. Look, here's what I feel. Were we saying when Madison Bumgarner went on his run in 2014 that he's better than Clayton Kershaw?
I don't know. We didn't have a show.
That's a good point. Is he better than Justin Verlander? No, those conversations that was not a thing. Bumgarner went on a crazy run. He was one of the better pitchers in the game for sure. Skubal didn't get the opportunity to do all that. Like, I don't want to take away anything from Yamamoto because what he did was awesome. And coming into pitch Game 7, we were in a text chain during the game, and I threw it out as a joke. I was like, they got to throw Yamamoto in. And then they did.
Yeah, and then they actually did.
And then they actually did, and he closed out the game, like 3 innings. It was unreal stuff. And
I think they would have just let him go forever, too.
Him just kind of zagging on this theme of pitchers getting pulled early in playoff games. No, I'm actually going to pitch the whole game every time I'm out there. It was just awesome to see that. So I'm out on this, though. Skubal's still the best pitcher in the game. Not a doubt in the world about it.
So here's the question, then. Would Skubal have come back out in a desperate time where they need him to in the 9th inning after he just pitched 100 pitches the day before? Would he even gotten to 100 pitches the day before? Now it sounds like I'm bashing Skubal, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just kind of, navigating a conversation because I think what we just saw from Yoshinobu Yamamoto the last 2 weeks was like something I didn't really comprehend was possible. With all the complete games, coming back out for the second consecutive night and closing it out, I thought we were past that. And he's showing like, okay, maybe not.
Right.
And I just I can't say with confidence Skubal would have.
I know. It's hard. But that's not like a Skubal thing, right? It's an AJ Hinch thing. It's
I
just how
agree.
AJ Hinch operates. And that's the part that frustrates me is that conversation being had. Like, oh, Skubal wouldn't have wanted to because of a contract or because he wants to get traded, or Scott Boras wouldn't have allowed it to happen. The guy that wouldn't have allowed it to happen is AJ Hinch because he doesn't do that.
I do not subscribe to the theory that Skubal didn't want to come back out or that Scott Boras was saying, don't pitch him, I want to protect his arm. I think this is just a simply like AJ Hinch old school or new school way of thinking, or just the AJ Hinch way of thinking where it's like, we're not going to overuse his arm.
And you're also in Game 7 of the World Series when you don't have any more baseball to play after this. Like the Blue Jays did the same thing. Trey Savage comes out. Shane Bieber got in this game. Like all their starters got in this game because you have nothing else to lose. That's the best part about it. Whereas obviously the Tigers were in Game 5 facing elimination, but let's say they do pull that game out. They still have to pitch Skubal in the next series. You don't want to just like absolutely destroy him. And so, but to me, like that, it's Dave Roberts is one of the more aggressive and open-minded like managers in baseball. He'll tell it how it is. Remember when after Game 5 they were like, "Yeah, Ohtani, I might put him in the outfield in Game 7. Who knows?" Like, okay, why?
What?
Sure, but like he's always talking about that stuff. Whereas AJ Hinch is just he does things his specific way, and we can if that's the conversation you want to have, that's the one to have. Is AJ Hinch's way of doing things right when you see the Blue Jays and the Dodgers throwing their ace as long as humanly possible? AJ Hinch was never going to put Skubal in that game. Should he have? If he was in that spot, sure, but this is all hypothetical, obviously.
I think I'm more curious to hear from AJ Hinch right now when the Tiger season has been over for a month than I was at any point during the playoffs.
Yeah, like what would you have done kind of thing?
Like
just
what,
getting a
what
podcast
do you
of AJ Hinch, yeah.
Yeah, we need the Benetti and Dickerson
for real
podcast
have
right now.
Seat.
Get AJ Hinch on the phone, just be like, I just want to know what he thinks about playing Yamamoto that long and showing like, hey, there are some pitchers in this league that are capable of doing it. Now, I think Tarek Skubal throws with a lot more aggression than Yamamoto does, and maybe that's
absolutely
something to do with like preserving his arm. But they're similar in terms of they don't really walk guys, right? Yamamoto had 2 walks the entire course of it was either the World Series or the playoffs. I think it was the playoffs. He just doesn't walk guys. Like the release point is the exact same for all three of his pitches, and they all touch different corners of the plate. But Skubal throws with a lot more aggression and gets the velocity up there a little bit. They're just different types of pitchers, but at the very least, I think Yamamoto inserted himself in the best pitcher in the world conversation after winning World Series MVP. I don't know if it was unanimous or not, but it kind of felt like it was unanimous.
And I think the big
they were chanting his name before they even gave him the award.
Yeah, great point. I think the big part too with Yamamoto was like the talk all year was just about how the staff, the pitching staff of the Dodgers, one, all their starters are injured, and two, all their relievers stink. And one thing that was consistent all year was Yamamoto. Pitched every game this season. Like, he was the lone guy that did that in this rotation that come the end of the season, come playoffs, we saw how elite the Dodgers starting pitchers were. But Yamamoto had been doing it all year. So, yeah, I'm with you. Totally deserved the finals or the World Series MVP. I honestly didn't think they were going to – I just figured they would just by default give it to Ohtani.
So did I.
Just because – like, I just figured, like, it's Ohtani. He does
He got
it all.
touched up in Game 7.
Yeah, he did, and didn't really hit, like, extremely well in the World Series. Yamamoto deserved it, and I'm happy that he got it.
Yamamoto deserved it. If there was another person, I probably would have given it to Will.
Yeah.
Not Will Vest. I don't know. I was just
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Did you see that Will Smith has won the World Series 6 years in a row?
Yeah. At first, I was like, I'm.
There's three
I
Will
have
Smiths.
to be wrong because I'm pretty sure Will Smith like went through the entire Dodgers farm system, and then I was like, am I out of my mind? Am I just making stuff up? And then I realized there's 3 different people named Will Smith who have won World Series.
And then there's the one that punched Chris Rock too. There's that Will Smith too.
I forgot about that Will Smith.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah. Just would you say it's the best finals, best championship series you've ever seen?
Ever?
Any
No.
sport, yeah.
No.
I think it's that in the 2016 NBA Finals.
And to me, there's a couple Super Bowls. I think Seahawks, Patriots, and Patriots, Falcons.
How about put the Super Bowls over here because those aren't series.
Those are one game, yeah.
But
Series.
in terms of the series, I think it's this and the 2016 NBA Finals, and those are the 2 best series I've ever seen.
Probably. If we're just talking final series too, because there's been just a couple playoff series that were insane in basketball as well. But
just finals.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably those 2. I mean, that was probably the best World Series that I have gotten to witness fully as a big-time baseball fan.
This summer's NBA Finals had a chance to do it.
This summer's was really good. If Halliburton doesn't get injured in the first quarter of that game, who knows?
But there also wasn't a legacy on the line like there was with LeBron
Correct.
and Steph. And even this year, it's like, look at all the stars. It's Ohtani. It's Vlad.
It's Canada. The entire
Right.
country of Canada who hasn't won a champion. Like the nation of Canada just has not won championships outside of that Raptors one in like 25 years in every sport.
Yeah. Because it's been forever for any of the hockey teams. I think
90s.
93, I think one of the Canadian teams and the Blue Jays, the Canadians and the Blue Jays both won it.
Right.
Either 92 or 93 when the Blue Jays went back-to-back. And then they've had the Toronto Raptors one, and then that's been it.
And, of course, the Maple Leafs haven't won one in like 1,000 years.
Right. That seemed like a personal shot.
Just had to toss that in. Hopefully somebody's listening.
Maybe. Maybe they are. All right, 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Since 1940, Yiter Insurance Group has been a trusted friend to generations of your neighbors in the Great Lakes Bay region and across the country. Proudly representing auto owners insurance, we're licensed in nearly every state, so no matter where life takes you, we got you covered. And because we're an independent insurance agent, we don't believe in one size fits all. We work for you to find coverage that fits your life, your family, and your business. That's why families and businesses have relied on Yiter Insurance and auto owners for peace of mind. Yiter Insurance Group, local roots, national reach, and always your friend in the insurance business.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. Count on me for financial strategies that can help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. Contact me today at 989-832-8428 and let's find your rich.
Or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First-class epoxy floor and counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Let's go! Get them going! Mondays this football season when you want the NFL. I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl. It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
The Cardinals, fresh off the bye, head to Arlington to face the Dallas Cowboys. Coverage tonight at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). This number in the Mitt messages. You guys can text in anytime. You guys can use the YouTube chat as well. For now, I think it's time to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Oh, hello, Kyle.
Oh, hey, Ben.
Oh, hey there.
We got a ton more news to get into. A lot we touched on in the first segment. Let's do a lot of
we missed out on.
That's what I'm saying. So let's do a lot of football news here in this second news segment because that's what I want to get to. First off, this is the biggest news of the day, potentially of the week even. My spread picks, I went 5-1 in my spread picks. I just wanted to put that in the news because some are saying that I'm back.
Did you take the lead?
Oh, I took the lead. I mean, what did you do? 1-4,
I had a
think.
really bad week.
1-4 for Ben, so that'll put you at 25-23. I'm going to be up to 28-20. Ooh, sheesh. Okay,
really bad week all around for your boy over here.
It's all right. It happens, you know. Let's get into the other real news. Football. Cam Little of the Jacksonville Jaguars kicked the longest field goal in NFL history, 68 yards. This was pretty due to happen specifically by this guy because he kicked the 70-yarder in preseason, so we knew it was all going to happen at some point. He gets it done, so unfortunate news, Ben, because one, you and I, who were both at the Justin Tucker history field goal game, that will no longer live on.
It'll live on rent-free in my brain for the rest of my life.
Right, but it won't be like some
Worst day
historic
ever.
game for the rest of our lives. It only was for a couple of years. And two, we skipped from 66 yards to 68 yards. So we'll never get the history-breaking 6-7 field goal.
Next is 69.
We all wanted it. That's tough. Yeah, Brandon Aubrey saw that, and he's about to kick a 70-yarder tonight.
For sure. I
bet
bet
that record will last one whole day.
I actually think that might be possible.
Can I bet on that? Aubrey to break the record tonight? I would if I could.
I honestly think they might just do it for the sake of it tonight if a chance presents itself.
Yeah,
why wouldn't they?
Right. Speaking of that tonight, Cardinals, Cowboys, they're in action. No Kyler Murray. So we did the whole stat on, man, he's never lost at AT&T. It's not going to matter because he's not playing in that game. I haven't checked to see what the line is adjusted to.
It's still
barely moved. It's 3.
Oh.
I guess Jacoby Brissett they like a little bit more. The over-under is still incredibly high at 53.5.
And the bigger news with this one, I lead Kyle by 2 points in our fantasy football league. I have CeeDee Lamb. He has Brandon Aubrey. So I will not be rooting for.
This is also a 2 PPR league. So I'm just for sure cooked. Even if Aubrey hits 3 70-yard field goals, I still think.
There's a bonus. There's a bunch of the bonus points involved.
Is it? Okay.
Three 70-yard field goals. I think he might have
last year in that
shot.
league, I traded for Brandon Aubrey. I traded capital to get a better kicker. So these are the weeks that it comes into play.
Hey, how have we not mentioned in the news through 1.5 segments that Jaden Daniels?
That's what I'm coming up on that. It's
Okay.
football news.
Okay.
We didn't do any football news in the opening one, so Jaden Daniels is
there it
hurt.
is.
Oh no, he suffered a dislocated elbow. MRI coming today. Haven't gotten an update on that just yet this morning. Oh wait, yes we did.
I think the fear is that he's done.
Dislocated elbow. Yeah. He is going under the MRI later, but yeah, dislocated elbow. Terrible news, obviously. This was a gross injury, by the way, if you were still watching
Disgusting.
this game. I hate to be the whole why is he still in guy, because I think that's a loser mentality. Why was he still in?
Oh, you're saying because of the blowout. I thought you were saying because
they were
you're
getting
right.
they were getting blown out, and he's coming off of an injury already. Like, I don't know. I hate to be that guy because you don't want to lose until the thing is over. But
This is his 3rd injury of the season and 4th of career, or is it 2nd of the season and 3rd of career?
Technically it's his 3rd injury, but the first injury was just he just retweaked it. But he's missed time 3 different occasions now.
Just this season or the first 2 years?
Just this season.
And then he got hurt last year as well. This was the big concern coming into the draft, remember? He's so nimble. He's so, not frail, but he's just got a really small frame.
Right.
Has not looked good for him.
No, it is not, and it's very unfortunate. Lions play, obviously, the Commanders this upcoming week.
Yeah.
They for sure will not have him this week. But
Lions
probably out
caught
for
a
the
big
season.
break.
Probably out for the season.
Lions caught a big break.
They haven't been really good with him either, though. Not his fault, but.
So, where do you stand on Drake May versus Jaden Daniels right now, then?
Is that fair to do right now? Is that really a nice guy thing to do right now, Ben?
I never said I was a nice guy.
I will wait, like I've told you, like I've told you time and time again, Ben. Let's wait until the season is over. When Drake May loses in the first round to whatever team he's playing, I will continue to say Daniels.
First round?
Dude took
They're
his
not
team
going to play in the first round.
Dude took his team to the NFC title game as a rookie, and we're just going to be like, I don't know, though. Drake May throws the ball pretty far.
He does do that.
He scores 30 points against Tennessee and Cincinnati every week. Come on, man.
It's true.
I'm out on all that. They did win a good game against Atlanta this week, though. I'll give them that. Okay, I wanted to put this in the news. This is not news. All I wrote down was Bears-Bengals. Let's talk about it. Colston Loveland finally comes alive, and boy, he does it in the craziest fashion ever. Is this the worst defense in NFL history, this Bengals defense?
It really might be.
It is so truly terrible. Joe Flacco, who's playing with a shoulder injury that basically he was ruled out essentially at the end of the week, and then they were like, actually, never mind, he's going to play. Still throws for 400 yards, has the crazy comeback, and it's all for nothing because the Bengals defense just kills it. Me and John had Bears -3. What a sweat that was. That looked like it was going to be impossible because they were just going to kick the field goal. Nope, they score a touchdown instead. Should Loveland have went down? People were obviously didn't matter, but people that was my immediate thought when he was running to the end zone. I'm like, why is he not going down?
Probably, but
you never know with the amount of blocked field goals and stuff that have happened this year. I don't blame him for doing what he did.
I'm in disbelief at the way some of these teams are losing and winning games. I wrote.
And the Bears seem to be involved in all of them.
Right. So the Bears had a 99.6% chance to win with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left. You gotta love the win probability. It was 41-27, 99.6% chance to win.
It was 41-27 with less than 2 minutes in the game. Like, that's unreal.
Then the Bengals had an 85.9% chance to win with 40 seconds left and somehow lost.
Getting the onside kick and just scoring as quick as they did. We've seen this now 2 weeks in a row work out, Ben, where if you're down by 14, you just go for 2 if you score the first touchdown. The Jets did it with Aaron Glenn. You go for 2 because it's like, we're going for the win. We might as well just go for it now. And then if we miss it, we'll just go for 2 the second time. This is the part of the analytics and part of the football game that people are doing.
This is also something I've never understood why it took so long for people to realize this. I've been doing this in Madden for years.
Right. Like, if you're down by 2 scores, you might as well just try to go for 2 to get the win. You're not playing for a tie at that point.
Yeah, if you believe in yourself to pick up one of them, then...
Yeah, all you have to do is pick up one of them.
And
you're at least tied.
Yeah.
And if you get the first one, then you're going to win. And the Bengals were going to win until, obviously, that happened. I will say, by the way, Ben Johnson, well, obviously he doesn't call the plays defensively. Them blitzing Flacco on the Hail Mary play, that's mean, dude. That was mean. Flacco's attempt to
couldn't
throw
even get it to the end
throw
zone.
the 60-yard Hail Mary was sad. It wasn't even like making fun of him. I was
no,
like,
it was
dude,
bad.
He needs like a 10-second wind-up. Like, the fact that you just threw a blitz at him, come on, man, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Anyways. More injury news. Sorry, you got something?
No, you can move on.
More injury news in the NFL. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft feared to have torn his ACL in their game against Carolina yesterday. That was a really tough-looking injury. Kraft has been, obviously I hate the Packers, he's been phenomenal this year. Been one of the better tight ends in the league. Really good in space, but probably going to be without him the rest of the season now.
I mean, I always said the Packers lacked that superstar pass catcher.
He was.
He kind of was turning into that guy at the tight end position. So for them to be without him for the rest of the season, I don't think that loss can be understated.
Hit. Yeah, I mean, he's been their best pass catcher all year, not even close. They are getting Jaden Reed back, I think, next week, maybe the week after. So that's good, but obviously they have a good tight end unit over there. So
right,
I don't know, we'll see. In that same game, though, Rico Dowdle, he took over the Panthers' backfield, had a huge game, over 25 carries, scoring twice, both of the 2 touchdowns for Carolina. But I don't know if you saw this, Ben. He got penalized for the 2-pump celebration.
Oh, did he? I missed this one.
Did he? The Key and Peele skit, where he does the 2 pumps. And this is a real quote, by the way. I had to read this because this was hilarious. Post-game, he got asked about it. This is real. He says, "From my understanding and everything I've learned, we go over stuff like this every week in the meeting room, and I definitely think you're supposed to get at least 2 pumps. Hopefully I don't get a fine."
He definitely has just seen the Key and Peele skit and assumed that was the rule.
And the Jamal Williams part of it a couple years ago, too. Like, he did this whole thing and got fined for it. So I thought that was so funny. I had to throw that in the news. Quickly, a couple other things in the news. This morning, Eagles trade for edge rusher Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins. This was reported yesterday that Phillips was for sure going to get traded.
So it's their 5th trade of the year?
Yes. This is their 3rd trade of the week, too. They traded for Michael Carter, a corner. They did another trade like 2 days ago, too. I'm blanking on what it was. They traded a 3rd-round pick to Miami, though, which seems like a lot for a guy like Phillips, who's on an expiring deal. But Miami's paying for a lot of the contract remainder of this season. So that's why a 3rd-round pick is dealt here.
They traded for a DB, didn't they?
Yes. Well, Michael Carter was the DB they traded for, but there might have been they traded for Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
Who's been terrible this year, by the way.
And they brought what's-his-name out of retirement, Brandon Graham.
That's right. Yeah, they're making moves everywhere. We got a couple more things in the news. I got to keep going here.
Keep going.
Sam Darnold, 4 first-half touchdowns in that blowout win yesterday. I had to toss that in. Yes, what a game from Sam Darnold last night. Since it was Sunday Night Football, had to throw that in there, obviously, with the Commanders' injury with Jaden Daniels. Quickly, NBA news. Pistons-Grizzlies, they're tonight at 8. We're excited for that.
Ja Morant back after being suspended.
Right. And Kyle Lowry has become the 12th player in NBA history to play 20 seasons.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Did he get his first game minutes a couple nights ago?
He got in for the first time the other night. And Nick Nurse made it a whole point to put him in and everything. He's probably not going to play a ton this year. Probably going to be more so like an assistant coach disguised as a player type of guy.
Every Sixers game I've watched, he's just coaching up VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, and he probably does a great job. Lowry will for sure be on a coaching staff when he retires. But
this is like the
he doesn't seem that old to me. I don't know.
He's pretty old.
He's pretty old, but I didn't think he was 20 years. Like, the 12th player ever to do it? That's not that many guys.
Yeah, I guess 20 is a lot, but it's also these small guards. Like, once you lose that burst, what do you really have?
Right.
I don't know what he could provide for
Exactly.
the Sixers right now.
Gritty defense, I guess.
Maybe.
I was going to read the AP poll, but who cares? Because the college football playoff poll comes out tomorrow.
How far did Vandy and Georgia Tech drop?
Vandy falls to
Miami.
15. Georgia Tech falls to 16. Miami falls to 18.
So-
SMU doesn't get ranked, by the way, after their win. I mean, they're atop the ACC right now.
So those are 3 teams ahead of Michigan that lost, and Michigan does not move ahead of any of
Michigan
them.
just stayed put at 21. Oklahoma jumped up to 7 after their win over Tennessee. Texas jumped up to 13. That's really the big things. There was no movement inside of the top 10 or top 7.
I thought about buying stock on Texas because I think Arch Manning looks significantly better right now than he did to start the season. Who would have thought? Development. I think he's seeing the field a lot better, just not very accurate. The only problem is their schedule's insane. They got to go to Georgia next week. So if they win that,
But I
all
don't
of a
know,
sudden
man.
they're
Georgia,
in contention.
Man, Georgia keeping it tight with a Florida team that fired their coach that was a bad game from Georgia. They did not play good.
It's on the road, right?
I don't think that Georgia's this world beater this year.
I don't think there's really any world beaters besides Ohio State and
You're
Indiana.
Right. You're right. I guess when you just think about Georgia, though, you just think about, man, that it's Georgia. Like, I don't know.
I also I was going to sell stock on all the dark horse college football teams because it feels like anyone
Like Vanderbilt, does that count?
Yeah. It feels like anyone outside of Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia, Bama, Oregon, those 6 teams, I'd be shocked if anybody else won it. I feel
What
like
about Ole Miss?
I feel like those 6 are
They got a big
the true
matchup this
contenders.
week with the Citadel,
Oh, classic SEC
Bama's
stuff.
favorite opponent.
All right, we'll do our 2 traditions to close out every show when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt, Facebook and YouTube as well. Hey, it's getting kind of chilly, but that doesn't mean you have to stop from getting geared up to explore some of the Great Lakes shipwrecks next summer. You guys can dive into adventure right now with Dive and Glide. Sign up for open water dive courses at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills, practice, and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or brushing up on your skills, they've got the classes to get you underwater with confidence. If you're already a pro, well, shop the best state-of-the-art gear that's online. Talking fins, regulators, masks, gauges, and more. Visit diveandglideinc.com to gear up for your next underwater adventure. Again, that's diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, my mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, my dad would always just, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program. Visit 1009themitt.com.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the district final round. The 9-1 Dow Chargers keep surging. They host the 5-5 East Lansing Trojans at Midland Community Stadium. Dow's looking for their first district title since 2015. Dow and East Lansing, pregame coverage at 6:50 Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
He got him. That's 3 of them.
The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
The Spartans tip off their 2025-26 season tonight. They host the Colgate Raiders from the Patriot League at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts tonight at 7, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chatting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Let's do our two traditions to close out every show. The first of those being our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Did Friday hit? I'm trying to remember what Friday was.
No.
What was it?
No, it didn't hit. Lowry Markkinen needed to get 35 points.
What, did he get 33?
Something like that, yeah. Wasn't 35.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, fresh start to the year. November 1st.
The year?
Fresh start to the month.
Yeah, let me tell everybody a quick update
okay.
on what happened in October.
Sure.
Ben did not do good in October. 4.66 units down in the month of October. And you went 1-5 on the week. No, excuse me, you went 2-3 in the week. You actually went up on the week, so that's good. But yeah, it's a fresh slate here. 23.35 units down all time. And you're 40-65-1.
All right. That's pleasant to hear. I will be going with a Detroit Pistons play today. The Memphis Grizzlies have one of the worst big rotations in the NBA in terms of...
Whoa, Jaren Jackson.
Hold on.
MSU.
In terms of grabbing boards. Jaren Jackson's an awesome scorer. Somehow can't grab any rebounds. Jalen Duren's become one of the best rebounding big men in the NBA. So I'm going to go with Jalen Duren, 12 rebounds tonight as my lock of the day. You stay up and watch this Mexico game?
Well, yeah, duh. It was on at the same time of the World Series.
Jalen Duren, 31 points.
Yeah.
Just
33, right?
33 points. Yeah, dominant performance on the glass. He's got like a real gravity to him when he's rolling to the basket now. He draws so much attention that it's opening up stuff for Cade on the pick and roll. And when Cade misses, he just comes and cleans it up. He is already become one of the most dominant players on the glass,
sure.
and it's translating to offense for the Pistons. So I'm gonna go with Duren boards against this Memphis team that it seems to be falling apart less than 10 days into the season.
Yeah, they totally are. I'm in on that.
Taylor fade.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, okay. Perfect. With that being said, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. The other tradition we have to close out every show is guessing what the one and only Colin Cowherd is going to open up with. So, whose turn is it to go first? What's the score? What do we got going on?
Double checking whose turn it is to go first. It's your turn to go first today. The score is 28-24. We went on a huge run of everybody got a point, or at least one of us got a point last week on every day, except Friday. We were coming off of that Thursday night football. We were coming off of a World Series preview, and he led with Lane Kiffin to LSU, which was kind of a crazy open. So we weren't expecting that. Didn't do anything Halloween type either.
No. So
it's your turn.
I'm going first.
28-24. You're up. Football score today.
I think I got to go with something to do with the Chiefs-Bills game. What angle do I want to take? Because I feel like taking the game isn't fair today.
If you want to just take it, you can, because I think I'm going to go elsewhere, which sounds dumb for me to just let you take the whole game.
Yeah, okay, because you're going to take World Series, aren't you? I guess I'll take Chiefs-Bills.
I actually am not going to take World Series either.
You and I are both so dumb then.
Why? Is it World Series?
How is one of us not?
This is going to sound really dumb, but look, a lot of the times he will just lead Monday's show with whatever happened on Sunday Night Football. He's a Seattle Seahawks guy. I think we get a Sam Darnold lead today. First half ever. He was unreal. I think that's the lead today. I feel good about it, actually.
The fact that one of us is not going to be taking...
I don't think World Series is the lead. I just truly don't.
Insane.
He might just be one of those things busy weekend, World Series.
I mean, this was one of the greatest World Series that we've
ever. But
it
was Saturday night. If it was Sunday night, it'd be different. He likes to go for the things that are most recent. That's why he usually leads with Sunday Night Football on Monday.
Yeah, I think we're both going to be wrong. But
Okay.
I'll go Chiefs.
I'll let you switch
Chiefs,
if you want.
Bills.
I'll let you switch.
No, I'll stick to what I said.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
stick to Chiefs Bills. But I really don't think it's going to be Seattle. Sorry.
No, I'm confident in this. What if he just zags in college basketball preview? Purdue's gonna win. Yeah. What if he does a Duke thing? Yeah, he might. Yeah.
I bet you he talks college basketball at some point.
Oh yeah,
today.
he will. He probably will.
Cam Boozer might be similar to how Cooper Flagg was the best college basketball player in the country at 17 years old for most of the season.
Yeah, I think he has a chance to be the best player in college basketball this year.
Yeah, which was such a rarity prior to the last couple of seasons. The best player in college basketball had always been the Luka Garzas,
right?
The Zach.
You get the years of a Zion, but that's there wasn't that many times.
Rare. But did Zion win the Wooden Award?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
It feels like Cam Boozer is entering the scene ready to be the best
Cam
player.
Boozer, the rare guy that has a twin who is just not the same size as him.
Not at all.
It's pretty tough. How does that happen?
Fraternal twins? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Hopefully everyone enjoys their first day of college basketball today, though.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope everyone enjoyed the show as well. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. We have a lot to get to tomorrow. We'll get to more into the Michigan State stuff. I'm sure we'll have more Lions opinions to get to. And maybe we'll be recapping some Michigan and Michigan State basketball as well, depending on what happens in both matchups tonight. Hey, you guys can give us a follow on YouTube. Hit that subscribe and like button. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Just search Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt or The Ben Bosscher Show, depending on the platform. Love to see the stuff grow. So appreciate it, guys. Take it easy today. We will see you tomorrow. That was The Ben Bosscher Show. Kyle Sandel, Ben Bosscher. Hope it was worth it.
The Ben Bosscher